I am not moving into an Islamic. You people want me to move into a mosque. You betrayed us. Get a life, bro. Get a life. I'm done. I don't want to be in this.
But I'm not sure if Cheeto. I mean, I'm not sure if.
So first of all, I mean, Sneako, you need to grow up, man. You're acting like a child.
Sneako, you're acting like a child. You're acting like 6 years old girl, man. What's wrong with you? Peace of Christ to all of you. Here we have two dummy Abdul from the West. You know, America collect a lot of garbage. Sorry to say, I mean, I'm not insulting the guy, by the way. I'm just giving him a rank. Because those both, they are convert. And then you need to ask yourself, before we go what he's talking about, why in the world someone want to convert to a religion? He is schooling the guy about how to behave and how to talk when the religion itself has zero ethic. I mean, this guy, the blonde guy, is telling the Mexican guy, brother, bro, you need to grow up, bro. Okay, why you don't say that to your prophet when he was 54 years old, going after a 6 years old girl? What if a Sneako right now, he go and he get a 6 years old girl? Do you say to him, bro, you need to grow? Or you go silence with your faith, his scumbag prophet? What this hat for? How you can wear American hat and you are a Muslim? You never heard of abaya? What's wrong with you? Isn't it the prophet, he says, the one who talked like them, dressed like them, he is one of them? Potato. So we have this Abdul, is schooling the other Abdul about how to be a good Abdul. So we can say this is a Abdul movie. This Abdul is going to get the other Abdul busted. Bro, what's wrong with you, bro? Grow up, brother. Grow up, brother. The other guy is coming from a hooker society, obviously. All his friends are hookers. Drinking, effing, filthy language. Yeah, this is where he is coming from. Street boy. This guy is not. He's not. But he loved the prophet who F children's brother. And he is going to school the guy and teach him how to go to heaven where you will get an English penis. So this cowboy, I don't know how you can ride the horse after you get your English penis. By the way, I invite him to call me if he dare. Because those, convert people, they learn two Arabic words and they keep repeating them. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. And supposedly now he is a scholar in Islam. So let us see what he will say. Shall we? Go. His voice is very low, by the way. It's not my fault. His video itself is very low.
This Christian guy who's responding to it, he obviously has an agenda, so keep that in mind as we go along.
Just keep that in mind. This guy is responding to this guy, he have agenda. This guy in the screen, he don't have agenda. He's a blank, like he's a prophet. When he shoot Aisha, never make her have a baby. See that guy? He have agenda, brother. Islam is not a religion of agenda. They don't want to take over the government. They don't want to close all religions. They don't want to kill the Hindus, the Christians. No, Islam don't have agenda. Islam just a government, system, gang, mafia, rape, and fornication. We have no agenda. This, take in mind. Brother, did you work before, become a cowboy? Did you work in the football field like you are the one who do commentary? Goal! Oh, goal. This is a goal in our team, not what I did. Continue.
I also want to remind everybody that on screen here, people who are Christians, obviously from the get-go, don't trust them. They don't trust Muslims, but we don't have anything that tells us to lie for the sake.
He don't have anything to tell us to lie. Are you sure? Guys, look, those Christians, they say to you, don't trust Muslims. But we Muslims, we are victim of this. There's nothing in Islam says you can lie. Abdul. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da, ta-da-da. You know, actually, I wasn't choosing this guy to talk about him today, but I saw the video. So I said, okay, you know what? At least we have some hummus. Snack. And for me, really, I don't care really who convert to Islam, who leave Islam, who stay Islam. This is your business. But Islam is still will not change. Islam is the most evil, disgusting, filthy cult. While the Muslims are celebrating around the world 9/11, we are celebrating spanking the ass of Muhammad and making it red every day. So look at this potato. He never heard that in Islam you can talk in a friendly way to non-Muslims while your heart is like this. Brother, he never heard of something called taqiyya. Taqiyya, which is in Islam, is the shield of Islam. You see the Jews, they have the doom system to protect themselves from the missiles of the Abdul, which usually hit their own head. They shoot at Israel, it came back and hit their head. And then, this potato, he says, in Islam, it doesn't teach us, brother, that we can lie. Ya Abdul, you're a prophet. He says the man can lie to his wife. The wife, she can lie to her husband. Who is left? And the man can lie to his friends and his enemies. Who is left? This is your stupid Quran, chapter 3, verse number 28. It says, take not, believers, take not the non-believers as a friends or protectors. And the one who take them as friend and protector, he is not a Muslim. So you, Abdul, who converted to Islam in Texas, who is your governor? Christian. Who is the leader of your army? Christian. Who is the captain of your police? Christian. Who is the one you pay them tax? All of this is forbidden in Islam. You are not a Muslim. And the verse is so clear. And now if you tell me I have many Christian friends, that is a confirmation that you are a fraud, not a Muslim. Because a Muslim cannot take a Christians and Jews as a friends. And this is confirmed in many places in the Quran. As an example, chapter 5, verse number 51. But when he said, we are not allowed to lie. And the funny is, the verse saying that those who they are Christians and Jews, they are hypocrite. They are hypocrite, brother. But Islam teaching them to lie. So what hypocrisy mean? Hypocrisy mean you say something, you do something else. But isn't this what the verse teaching us? Read carefully. The one who is taking the Christians and the Jews as a friend, the believer, who is sincere. If you are a sincere Muslim, you are not Muslim no more. Read it carefully. If you are a sincere Muslim, sincere Abdul, black stone kisser, the ass of Muhammad worshipper, you are not a Muslim. Sincere. They are the one using that. If you are sincere, taking the Christians as a friends, you have no connection to Allah. You have no honor, which means Muslims can dishonor you. No mercy or protection, which means they can kill you. They can rape your women. Unless, brother, unless you guard yourself against them, save yourself from them. So this guy, he said now, this cowboy, if he say, I celebrate 9/11, alhamdulillah, he will be arrested. Even though I doubt now, like with Joe Biden, they are ducking tape Islam everywhere. Joe Biden is the coward, the scumbag, who is the dummy or the puppy of Hussein Barack Obama. And this is why actually he avoided coming to New York for 9/11, because they are trying to make us forget it. Save yourself from them by taking it as it were. As it were. You see, it is not really security. As it were. Security, saving yourself from them by speaking in a friendly way toward them while your heart is like this. Now, if you compare this to what Christ taught us, what the disciple of Jesus did, the disciple of Jesus, they bring them to in front of a lion. And they say, if you leave Christianity, we will let you go. The disciple of Jesus, none of them practice taqiyya. This is not here like, you know, just about talking. No. We are talking about real lion. And the lion will eat you after a minute. They make the lions starve for 2-3 days before they throw a human being to it. So they bring the Christians and they tell them, if you leave Christianity, we will let you live. Or what they need to say, do this. Speak to them in a friendly way, while your heart is like this, and they will let you go. What the Christians they favor to do? They never denied Jesus. Do you see the difference? The religion of the devil, you can lie everywhere. This potato trying to fool himself and fool others, saying, oh no, we don't lie. In fact, the Quran gives us a great example about how many lies Muhammad he did to his own people, to his own wives. If you go to the chapter of At-Tahrim, he took an oath. He will never sleep with Mary the Copt. Mary the Copt, she is a blonde woman. Sexy and hot, brother. And those Arab, they are desperate for blonde. Muhammad, he says, attack the Romans so we can get the blondie girls. So when Hafsa, she got him busted in her house, in the top of Mary the Copt, her legs was up, his penis was in, and she said, in my bed, in my room, you filthy scumbag. Muhammad, he told her, don't tell your dad. I promise you, he will be a caliphate, and I will never sleep with her again. And the story mentioned in the Quran too. So when those Abdul, either in purpose or by ignorance, we do not know which the situation of this cowboy. You are not a cowboy, my friend. Cowboy men are real men. Are you? If you are a real man, you will not accept to have a prophet he is a pedophile. This is not a behavior of an honorable man. Are you an honorable man? Or what this guy is doing here? Oh, a cowboy boy, do you have a dog at home? Cowboy boy, are you going to practice Islam and kill dogs in their area?
Dog as a pet or for security reasons, as a pet, it is totally prohibited. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that angels do not enter a house where there's a portrait, a statue, or a dog.
The weakness spot of the angels of Allah. Cannot enter a house. Okay, they do enter a country, have a dog. Do angels enter a country, have dogs? I mean, if they cannot even get to the territory of dogs, there's dogs everywhere. So those Abdul in America, they are praying to Allah. There is dogs next neighbor in the same building. So you have a building 12th floor, let us say. How many dogs in the building? They check apartment by apartment, brother. The dog who prevent Allah from delivering Quran to Muhammad. What kind of God this God is? And he said, if there is a statues, but isn't it the stupid Quran says, Allah, he commanded Solomon to build a temple full of statues. Since when statues in Islam is haram? يَعْمَلُونَ لَهُ مَا يَشَاءُ مِنْ مَحَارِيبٍ وَتَمَاثِيلٍ. Do you see it? No. Tamathil is haram, brother. Since when? And look at the translation. Look at this translation. What? The word tamathil is gone. I don't see tamathil. It's gone. You change the translator. Hold on. By the way, Muslims don't corrupt their Quran, brother. They just take words, sentences out of the Quran, replace it with duct tape. Home Depot is out of a crazy glue. Okay, what here? What we see here? Large reservoir What is that? What is the images? I thought images is haram too. But where is the tamathil? Oh, look, what the heck? I changed it, translation. Let us see different translation. Let us see this guy Mohammed Arbari. May Allah arbar him. Okay. Statues. Allahu Akbar. Haram. Statues. Haram, brother. Haram. 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 What a stupid religion. Hey, Christians, you have statues of Mary. Hey, Catholic, you have haram, haram, brother, haram. And then the temple which is built by the command of Allah. And Allah, He gave Sulaiman the control of the genie by giving him the Lord of the ring, you know. He put it in his hand. And then the genie, they start building. And, you know, even they dive in the ocean to bring him jewelry. Because it costs a lot of money. So the genie, they go in the ocean. They dive in the ocean, brother. And they come back with the jewelries. And then, you know, Solomon, he's a Jew. This is why the Jews, they do business jewelry. The genie, yeah. غواصين, brother, غواصين. Do you know what غواصين? Submarine. Can you believe it? The genie used to have a submarine. Look. This guy, he converted to Islam. You converted to cartoon, Abdul, Mickey Mouse. What a dummy you are. So the genie, brother, there is two parts, brother. Some of them, their specialty is to build, brother. Engineers and building. And the other, they are divers. I dive in the ocean. It was full of motion. I get all the jewels for the great Abduls. Sulaiman, take it from me. He said it back to me. What a drama. Hello? It's me you're looking for? This is religion? Mickey Mouse? Genie, potato, diving for Sulaiman. I mean, even this story is not good for kids. And you are schooling the guy about how to be logical. Brother, you are acting like a kid. Isn't it? This is a story for kid, you donkey. And the verse before it is about the flying carpet of Sulaiman. Yes, brother. If you don't believe me, actually, we played the video. Where is the video? Hold on. Is this one? No, that's not this one. Hold on. Oh, this is about the hand of Allah. Forget about the hand of Allah. The Muslims are fighting. No, this one too. Where is the Mufti Menk? Not this one too. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this one. But we need to move a little bit here. The flying carpet. Hold on. Where is the flying carpet? Which minute? I don't know.
There's a lesson. What a powerful man. So humble. So just. And we are going to see the justice of Sulaiman alayhi salam.
We will see the justice of Sulaiman soon when he talked to the ant.
This evening. We will see how he addressed even the smallest members of his army with utmost respect. Subhanallah.
The smallest member in his army is a hubub. Subhanallah.
Sometimes medication of the doctors has been detrimental. We ask Allah to guide us and guide not only the doctors but every single one of us in whatever field we are. Just to let some form of benefit reach you. It will never the power of using the wind that covered a journey of 1 month in one morning. And Allah says in the afternoon it covered the journey of another month. So in one day you would cover the journey of 2 months. That's what Allah says. What would happen? He had bisat. He had a laid sort of a wooden plank. One wonders exactly how it was. We only know the word that is used here to describe it. Say more.
To be honest with you, we do not know how the flying carpet is made of. To be honest with you. It says bisat, which means carpet. We don't know really. He said the word wooden. You see the stupidity? He said we do not know how it's made, and then he said the word wooden. How you know wooden? Where is the word wooden coming from? It's in the Quran? No. So the Muhammad, is sneaky, they add things, and and the Muslims, they nobody understand anyway. Like, okay, so Sulaiman have a flying carpet, subhanallah, this is amazing, so beautiful. Brother, so how come now today we are dying to pay for God, and how come Prophet Muhammad don't have one? What Sulaiman will lose if he cut 1 meter of his big carpet, which is fit for 3,500-mile army. You remember? The army of Sulaiman is a 3,500-mile long army. Oh, this is the account of Harut and Marut. This is not the one. Okay. We go back here. We go back to this guy. Hey, Abdul, so you Muslim don't lie. I think the flying carpet of Muhammad is true. I have to agree with you. And lying to your wife is not a lie. This is a good lie. Lying to your friends is even better. Lying to the Christians, practicing taqiyya, this is allowed. This is halal. But we don't lie. Okay.
Gospel. Paul taught his followers. 2 Corinthians 12.
What he said? I cannot really understand what he's saying.
We're Christians. Obviously, from the get-go, don't trust. They don't trust Muslims, but we don't have anything where it tells us to lie for the sake of gospel. Paul taught his followers. 2 Corinthians 12, Paul says, I did not burden you myself. Nevertheless, crafty fellow that I am, took you in deceit.
Look. He don't lie, guys. This is what the Bible says. The Bible says that Paul says to us to lie. Brother, this is so true. This is so true. Look, it's in the front of you. Why people cannot see it? It's not like you Christians. Listen. Abdul Potato. I don't call names, by the way. Trust me. This is just a description. In 2 Corinthians, Paul, he said to Christians, you can lie? No. Are you sure? How in the world we Christians could not see what is coming? And look, he is smiling. Look at this, man. He got you busted. It turned to be that you Christians have taqiyya like Muhammad too. I know. Many of you come here for entertainment because you find Islam is very laughable and Muslims is more gullible. Hey, Abdul. So if me and you together we read this, we will find that the Bible is teaching us to lie. You know what? I invite you to call me if you are listening, and I want you to read exactly the same chapter you are talking about, so we can see, and we will compare it with the Quran. Either you apologize for you are a fraud, or I apologize. Where in the verse he is talking about this coward, it says, you can lie. And I will use even the translation he is using. And look, he highlight for you a certain word. Do you see it? There's a certain word is highlighted. Let me zoom in more. Brother, look what is in the Bible. He is saying what? Let us go to the Bible and laugh at you, you coward, you liar, you fraud. Shame on you. I will open the Bible. And everybody will die laughing at your stupidity and your hypocrisy. Let us go. I don't know what translation he is using, but I don't know. I would like to know what translation he is using, but no problem. Whatever translation he is using. You know, English is not my first language, but anyone who read the verse, and I will put the verse in the front of you, you will see that those people, they are nothing but a scam. This is the verse. Let me zoom out. Where in this it says that we are allowed to lie. This is the verse in the front of us. Sincerity, not with the fleshy wisdom, but by the grace of God. This is the holy chapter in the front of us, where it says that we can lie. Can you believe how low class they are? It is unbelievable how they lie. Isn't it Paul the same person saying that wicked men, liars, fornicators, drunken, they don't inherit the kingdom of God? We in Christianity are allowed to lie. Do you have even a decency for a second? I have a bad news for you, my friend. Look like your mother, she was lying to you all the time. Because your mother, she is a Christian, isn't she? So the biggest lie maybe she said to you that your dad is your dad. How you can trust your mother now? She's a Christian. And Paul told her, you can lie. Shame on you, coward, liar, potato. And now everybody in the chat is looking funny at you. All right. Somebody saying no matter what Muslims say about Christianity, support me. I don't want you to support me. You know, here we are here to say the truth, not supporting Christian Prince. Who care about Christian Prince? I don't count, my friend. This is not about me. Never support me as a person. Support what I do. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, you yourself, you throw me in the garbage. There's no difference between a human being except what they stand for. So this is how they lie, and they claim that we are the one who lie. In fact, in the Quran it says it clearly, Allah will not take you for your false oath. What is what Jesus says about false oath? He even forbid us from false oath. Do you know why? Because a Christian, either he say yea, yea, or nay, nay. Anything else is from the devil. Muta boy. In the Quran, by the way, is the story of the flying carpet is a lie from Mohammed, or it must be true, must be true. In the Quran it says, Allah will not take you accountable for your false oath. Oh no, this is not intentional. There is nothing intentional when you speak in tongue. What do you mean not intentional? It says not intentional. It's not what in your heart. So this is what false oath is. In your heart you have something. In your tongue you have something else. This is what called hypocrisy. An oath is using the name of God in vain. So لا يؤاخذكم. Oh, we are typing in English. Oh, sorry. This is the word of your faithful prophet. What happened to this website? Allah will not take you accountable by what you say, by your false oath. And this is in the Quran, chapter 2, verse number 225, and chapter 5, verse number 89. Read it. So now a Muslim, he says, okay, Allah, he forgive me, you know, because he don't care even for me taking a false oath, using his name in vain. This is totally forbidden in the Bible. In fact, in the Bible, no single Jew use, in the Old Testament, use the name of God to talk about anything. Even when the rabbis, they came to Jesus and they said to him, are you the one who claimed to be the son of the blessed one? You notice that the rabbi did not say the son, did he not give a name? The Jews avoid to use any name for God. The reason, because how much respect they pay to the Lord. Are you the one who say you are the son of the blessed one? The Messiah said, yes, I am. Allah will not call you to account for what is unintentional. By the way, false translation. بِاللَّغْوِ فِي أَيْمَانِكُمْ. Laghu is, let us say, you know, like when somebody I'm not sure how to translate this one for you in English. You know when somebody he want to lie by exaggeration, let us say. He want to say something is not true, so he add a spice to it. When he add a flavor to the gossip, you know, like he say things is not even there. So low, this is exactly what it is. So you take an oath on something which is a fraud. Allah will not take you accountable for your oath because you don't mean it. It's a fraud. It's a lie. Allah will take you accountable for what you meant in your heart. But isn't you Muslims? All the Quran says if a man he accuse a woman without 4 witnesses, seeing the penis going in and out, which is a crazy stupid. So if this guy he saw his wife cheating, he have to get 4 witnesses from Texas, and they have to see the penis getting in and out, and then and only then he have a proof that she is cheating. So if we have 4 witnesses and now they are witnessing something never happened, all what you need to do, take an oath. The woman, she will be punished. The man in his heart, he have different intention. The intention is he hate this man, let us say. He want to accuse his wife of cheating. If you are saying to me that what is in your heart will do the judge or be the judge for what you did, so if in your heart is something evil, then Allah will punish you for it. Well, Allah will not punish you for using his name in vain. Allah will not punish you for lying to people about oath or making a promise which is false. Because either I take an oath to promise you something, and my promise is false promise, like Mohammed promised his wife not to sleep with his wives, and that is nothing but a fraud and deception. Or I'm lying about anything. I take an oath to my wife, I will not go there. Let us say she say, don't go to your friends. I don't like this guy. I take an oath because you are Abdul Potato. Your wife, she is so big and beautiful, and you are so small, like Muhammad. So you take an oath, as he did to Hafsa. Muhammad, he had a better solution for this. When he took an oath about not to have sex and to do boom boom to marry the Copt, Muhammad, he broke his oath by saying, Allah told me to break it. And he gave a chapter of At-Tahrim, verse number 1. Allah said to him, why you forbid yourself what is made lawful for you? So Muhammad, he made an unlawful oath. Muhammad himself, he lied. Take an oath falsely. Let us go back to this Abdul, because things is getting more funny actually with this Abdul. Okay, continue, Abdul. Continue. Thank you for for the information, and I like the smile you have.
So Paul makes it very clear that it is totally okay to deceive people, and he takes people in by deceit. 1 Corinthians 19.
By the way, this donkey, he did not know that Paul is a messenger of Allah in Islam. Just to show you how donkeys those people are. If I go right now and I check the interpretation, you see why they don't dare to call me? Do you understand why they don't dare to call me? Because if this donkey, he called me and he made fun of Paul, immediately I will ask him a very simple question. Did your prophet mention Paul? Did he ever mention that Paul is a liar? Did your prophet in the Quran or in the Hadith speak one time against Paul? Now, did your books in Islam praise Paul as a messenger of Allah? Yes or no? The answer is. In fact, he is the most powerful messenger sent by Jesus according to the Quran. Where the Quran speaks about 3 messengers, they've been sent to the city of Antioch, sent by Jesus. Let us show you. Go debate, people who do not know anything about Islam and make yourself like like, okay, this is, but in your stupid book, you donkey, you are insulting your religion. Paul is all over the place. In fact, your prophet himself, he copied Paul many places. The Quran is full of phrases coming from Paul. But let us go. If we go to chapter of Al-Ma'idah, verse number 81, it's speaking about what? It's speaking about Paul. وقال الرسول بولس في رسالته إلى ملك الروم. Let's read. Those are your books, potato. And this is your tafsir. Tafsir al-Alusi, volume number 6, page number 101. Where we find Paul. Let's look for it right away in the page. وقال بولس الرسول, who? The messenger. What the Muslim they called their Paul in their books? Paul the messenger. Translate. What's wrong with this? Translate. It's not translating. Give me a second. Brother. Paul. Let me see why it's not translating. Translate. Okay, hold on. Let us see. Maybe because there is a selection. Let us see. Okay, hold on. Translate. I wasn't going to go live, by the way, because they are doing some repair in the street in order not to block the traffic. Let us see. They do it in different timing. Why the translate is not working? Because it says translate to Arabic. That's bad. Choose other language. English. All right. Now it's working. Here you will see how they call Paul the messenger of God. Switch to English. Paul the apostle. What they call him? Paul the apostle. Is it once? No. In the story of the apostles, oh my beloved, we are the children of Almighty God. He named us. This translation, I'm just not reading the Arabic. This is Google translation. Paul the apostle. Each time they mention his name, they say Paul the apostle. Paul the apostle. Paul the apostle says, be aware of the foolishness. Every single scumbag from the Mohammedan in YouTube is cursing Paul. But he didn't ask himself why their stupid false prophet Muhammad never mentioned his name in a bad way. In fact, the Quran speaks about him in many places. There is a verse which is, I don't know, like I can quote for you in English, but let us go to the most important one in the Quran. About the third messenger which was sent to strengthen the most strong messenger. The Messiah sent, the Quran says, we sent to them. So the Quran now claiming that Allah is the Messiah. It says in their interpretation, even in the book of Ibn Kathir, that the third one is Paul. This is the book of Al-Bidayah and Al-Nihaya. The first two messengers, their names were Shamun, Yohanna, Simon, John. The third, the first one is Simon or Shamun. The second one is Yohanna, which is John. And the third one is Paulus. And the village is Antioch. Now the Muslim, they will say to you, it says there, this is Da'if. Da'if. But this is the opinion of Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir, he gave different name. He says truth and truthful and truthful. The truth, the truth, the truthful. The three names. Have you ever heard of the three messengers? One, his name is truth, the other one the truth, and the other one the truthful. Sadiqun wa saduq wa siddiq. If we go to different tafsir, they will say this is the most accurate. This is the most accurate tafsir. Let us see more. And remember, the one who says that is from the companion of Muhammad, not Ibn Kathir, who came 300 years after or 600 years after. This is in the book of Bidayah and Nihaya. If we go to the Tafsir Ibn Kathir, the Tafsir itself, Ibn Kathir, he agreed with it. Give me a second. Just to show you how the same donkey, the Muhammadan, once they rank something da'if, which is accepted still, and once they rank it as sahih, which is very acceptable. It's up to the mood, you know. All right. Let us see here. This is Ibn Kathir in English. This is Ibn Kathir in English. This is Tafsir now, not the book of As-Sirah. Here it says, from Ibn Ishaq reported that it was the city of Antioch. So now we knew exactly who are the city of Antioch. Those are the disciples of Jesus. Those are not Muslims. They don't worship Allah. They don't kiss black stone. They don't do Hajj. The city of Antioch. They worship idols. Allah sent them 3 messengers, whose their name Sadiq, Saduq, and what? Shalom? Shalom? Read with me carefully. But now the story is continue to get more interesting. Here we have a very powerful man in Islam, Ibn Jurayr, from Ibn Wahab, from Wahab ibn Sulaiman, from Shu'aib al-Jabi. He said, the name of the first 2 messengers is Sham'un and Yohanna, and the name of the third one is Bolos. The Muslim until now do not know how to say the name Paul correctly. Bolos. Hey, Bolos, how are you doing, Bolos? And what is the city name? It's Antioch. And you know what is that confirming? That confirms that Jesus is God. Because if those are, and the Muslims agree that those are 3 messengers sent by Jesus. And the story here saying that those messengers, they did a lot of miracles there. Even the king himself, they did miracle to him. In the name of who? Jesus. Who is the one who sent them? Jesus. How Jesus is a messenger and he can make Paul and John and Simon, Peter, a messenger. In order to be given a job, you have to be given job by somebody is from higher rank. And the one who sent messengers of God is only God. Can Muhammad make Umar ibn Khattab a messenger? The Muslim will say no. So how this is about 3 messengers sent by Jesus and they perform miracles. Who is the one who gave him the authority to give miracles? Jesus. And now can you say to me, this is not about the Christians? It says Antioch, the city of Antioch. So the Abdul in YouTube, they make fun. I can show you in this reference, by the way, not only this. Not only this. They have big mouth, but the second you show them their books, they will have a diarrhea. Maybe some other time, we can show you how many verses Muhammad, he copied from Paul. In fact, the verses about not to drink alcohol is from Paul. However, Paul was so clear about alcohol. He said, he don't mean not to drink, but he said the drunken, the wicked, the fornicators, the homosexual, the liars will not inherit the kingdom of God. Muhammad, he said the opposite. The drunken, the homosexual, the fornicators, the liars will go to the heaven of Allah to continue fornication there. Prove me wrong. This is Paul, the one you're attacking. Drunken, liars, wicked, fornicators, all of those, they don't inherit the kingdom of God. In the Quran, all of those are welcome. In fact, I challenge any Muslim to show me one verse in the Quran saying, if you are a fornicator, you go to hell. Because we have one verse says the opposite. Allah forgive all sin except shirk. Forgive all sin. So you can continue fornication. You repent, you don't repent, it doesn't matter. By saying Shahada, we played for you the other day, Zakir and Yuka. And a Muslim asked him a question about what the difference between what you say, like, you know, and this is again the Muslim, they lie. They say Christians believe that they can fornicate. Christians believe that they can lie. The Christian believe all those things, you know, Christian believe, but as you see, Christians don't believe in any of that. Zakir Naik explained that all what you need to do, when the Muslim ask him, what a different, you know, the Christian, they say that because Jesus died for our sin, well, we can fornicate, we can cheat, we can lie, which is absolutely false. It is totally the opposite. Where Jesus make it clear, and all the disciples. Isn't Jesus says to the one who commits sin, such a sin, it's better for you to unblock your eye, to take it off, from destroying the whole of yourself. Isn't this what Jesus said? Muhammad is the opposite. Muhammad, he see a woman walking by, he go to his wife, he F her, and he was staring at the woman until his penis becomes so, you know the thing. Is that the teaching of Jesus? A woman walking by, we keep staring at her until we get so horny? And then we say the woman, she advance in the image of shaitan, and she live in the image of shaitan? What is the way to go to heaven in Islam? Very simple. Zakir Naik will explain it for you.
Paid for.
Lying again about Christianity. Watch and love. Do you see why we don't respect Muhammad in Islam? Do you see why we don't even respect somebody he claimed to be a Muslim? If you are a true Muslim, that means you are a professional liar, but you are stupid at the same time. Listen to this.
Shouldn't say that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has paid for our sins. And we counter them and saying that if he's paid for our sins, then we can rob, we can cheat, we can rape and paid for. No problem. So it's illogical. So won't that same thing apply for the Muslims?
See, this is what the Christian believe. It's the Bible says that. The Christian believe in that. We can rape, we can kill, we can steal. So why we don't rape and kill in the name of Jesus? Why? We have Muslim women in the West. We are the majority and you are the minority. How come we don't burn mosques like you burn churches in Pakistan? Huh? How come we don't say that the Christians attack the Muslims so you can get the blondie Pakistani? As Mohammed said to the Muslims, attack the Romans so we can get the blondie girls. Continue.
Muslim, then we say in Islam, Allah is most graceful, Allah is most forgiving. So if you do a sin, you repent and Allah will forgive you. Isn't it the same? There is a world of a difference between the two. There's the difference of chalk and cheese.
Oof.
On the face of it, you may think it is the same, but there's a world of a difference. As far as the Christian concept is,
that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, died for the sins of humanity. This is not mentioned in the Bible. It is the wrong teaching of the church.
It's not in the Bible. Guys, it's not in the Bible. Go right now to Google, type verses in the Bible, Jesus died for our sin. You will find a limited number. It's not in the Bible. It's not there. That's it. Zakir and Naik deleted. Okay, brother. I don't know. I really converted now to Islam. How many women I'm going to F in heaven? Can you confirm the number? Is it true that their ass is 1 mile? Brother, I am getting a phobia because of the ass size. I mean, it doesn't make sense that the ass is 1 mile. Can maybe make it a mile and a half? What Allah will lose? Huh? What Allah will lose? And look what Paul says to you, you enemy of Christ, the Antichrist people, Muslims. Do you know that the wicked will not inherit the kingdom of God? Don't be deceived. Neither the sexual immoral, adulterer, nor adulteress, nor a man who submit or perform homosexual act, nor the thieves, nor the greedy, nor the drunken, nor. And all of those are you Muslims. The Muslim, they drunk in the mosque, it's in the Quran. Muhammad did not ever forbid the Quran. Actually, the Quran says don't approach the prayer when you are drunk. He did not say don't drink. They say to you, oh, he make it in steps. Well, what do you mean steps? Do you steps with God? Either you are with, or can you, is steps? Are you deceiving me? In fact, the Quran praise alcohol. Sakaran wa rizqan hasana. It is make you drunk and a great wealth with it. And it is a sign from Allah. Being a drunk in the Quran is a sign from Allah. Oh, hold on, Christian Prince is lying. It doesn't say that, CP. Let us go to the Quran. Brother editor, Christian Prince is lying to you. The Quran didn't do that. Who is the one praising being drunk? And later when the Christians, they start making fun of Muhammad, how Muslims they pray, they are falling apart in the mosque. Chapter 16, verse number 67. And look, the Muslims, they say to you, this is, brother, before alcohol was forbidden. Look, what the heck? So, a year ago, we praise alcohol. A year after, we condemn alcohol. And then Allah, He claimed that this is a sign from Allah for those who have wisdom when you are drunk. So if I'm drunk, it's a sign from Allah. It's a wisdom. Unbelievable. It's so beautiful. I feel I want to cry. This is so beautiful. The God who prays alcohol, and between two brackets, brother, don't take us wrong. This is before the order of forbidden of alcoholic drink. So it was a goodly provision. And now it's not goodly provision? And you are talking, by the way, about sakaran. He did not even use the word alcohol, by the way. He used the word drunk. Drunk. Goodly drunk. It didn't say strong drink as they say in translation. What's strong drink? What does that mean? Sakaran. The word sakran in Arabic means drunk. Sakaran is description for the situation, drunk. So those Muhammadan, they have every filth in their cult, and then they accuse us of what they have. And this is what Zakir Naik is doing. Look. So the guy asked him, well, in Muslims, you say all sin is forgiven. The Christian, they say that they can do any sin, which is absolutely false. Absolutely. And look now how we will go to heaven.
That they claim that Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, Nauz Billah, is the begotten Son of God, and he died for the sins of humanity, which is totally against the teachings of the...
You know, in Islam, you will see that Muhammad said, the Muslim, they say to you, is it fair, brother, that somebody commits sin and the other one pay for him? You know, Abdul, or stupid like your prophet. First of all, if this is the situation you are talking about, as you understand, is it fair, brother, that Adam commits sin and we are out of heaven in your religion? Brother, how come Moses, he understood Christianity and he is following Jesus because he believed in the original sin? Isn't it Moses, your prophet, says he debate with Adam, he told him, because of you we are out of heaven? Brother, as long as you are against that a soul will pay for the sin of other soul, how come your prophet says in the day of judgment Allah will take all the sin of Muslims and place it on the Christians? Brother, I thought everybody have to pay for his sin. Brother. Now listen carefully how you can enter heaven and why Islam is better than Christianity. Christian, they say, you can do fornicate, you can kill, you can rape, you can do child molestation like Muhammad. This is what the Bible says according to Muslims. Listen carefully. How we will go to heaven?
The Bible, and I've discussed that in my lectures. To counter them, we say that if Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, is paid for the sins of human being, that means today I can rob, I can cheat, I can rape.
See how they lie?
I can do all the sins. Because Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has already died for our sins. So once my sins...
That's it. Jesus died for our sin. That's it. You know, that's it, brother. That's what the Christians believe. They say, yeah, brother. So how come Paul himself was not going parties to the nightclub? The one who go to nightclub is under tits. He have his tits. He go naked online. He wear a little shirt for a gay. He sit in the front of the camera and his body is full of tattoo, and no Muslim complain. Naked. Totally naked. What is that? And not a single Muslim says, what are you wearing, brother? Because this is a guy who will promote Islam. He's a pimp, brother. The Prophet sit between, and his wife sitting next to him, and the guy sit next to her, and Muhammad exposing his balls and his legs. Aisha, she said, Umar, he came, you did not cover yourself. My father came, you did not cover yourself. Uthman came, you cover yourself. What answer of Muhammad says? Uthman is a man, the angels will be shy in front of him. What the heck? So you were showing your testicles and your legs to Abu Bakr and Umar. When the rich man, Uthman, he's a businessman, he's a rich man. Muhammad, he sit and cover himself. Now tell us how we can go to heaven in Islam, brother.
Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, already died for my sin. It's already paid for. For example, if someone says that you go to the restaurant, your bill has been paid for, you will eat anything, you will not bother what is the cost of it.
Right, right.
This is not the same as in Islam. In Islam, what we say, that we should not commit any sins.
Really?
But if you get involved in any sin,
okay,
then ask for forgiveness. Inshallah, Allah will forgive you. That does not mean that your sins have been paid for.
Ooh.
And Quran clearly says that no bearer of burden can bear the burdens of others. That means sin is not inherited at all.
Sin is not inherited. Oh, okay, okay. Where is the video about the notes? This is not the video about the note, is it?
It's taught by the church.
Hold on, this is not the video about the notes. Anyone remember the name of the video about the notes? Which video was about the note? Hold on. I wanted another video, not this one. If you remember, you know, we played a video about the note. Give me a second to find it. The note, brother. The note. Yeah, the note. Okay, hold on. Let us see. I'm trying to find. I thought I saved that video, but looked like I saved the wrong one. Yeah, I think that one was different. Anyone remember the name of that video? The video we played about the note? When Zakir Naik, he said $100 note. Anyone remember the video name? Okay, maybe nobody remember it. Let me do a little bit search. Yeah, I think even the background was different from this one. It is search. It's okay. Where is? I can play my video actually, the one he because we recorded him, but it's better if we find the exact video. Okay. Where is where? Not this one, not this one. Okay, I will play my video actually because I could not find it really. Too bad I did not save that video. I don't remember the name exactly. So let us see here. The issue here that I am talking, I want to play the video when he is talking, not me. Do you see how easy the note is being distributed in the cult of YouTube? And I remember that this guy, last time we played his video, he was... Where are you? Maybe it's the same video. I don't know. This is Osama? Okay. Maybe it... Hold on. I see the same background here. Maybe at the end of the video. Let us see.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. is taught by the church. In Islam, what we say that if you criteria, or rather there are 5 criteria. Number 1 is you have to agree it is wrong. You undo it if you can. This is unlike...
No, this is not the same. Hold on. Why I did not save it, I don't know. I thought I did. Approved by... Where is the note? Where is the note? Hold on. Where is the note? Or we can do all sin, or in the meaning that if you believe in Jesus and you follow his command, hold on, of Christ, into the how they lie. So if you really... See, this is the bad thing about going to the video. You have to find him talking. Not me. You can add it to my video if you are doing the video too.
In these 64 notes, one
the
person
beginning,
who may not be aware of, and I distribute the notes to few people.
From the beginning, hold on.
Divided to make you understand. I'll give you a few examples.
Okay, give me.
Number one, if there are...
You know what? I will play from the beginning so we can understand how life works in Islam. Because this video will explain all of Islam for you. All the idea of to being Muslim. So I'll play it from the beginning.
That why non-Muslims who do righteous deed will be put into hellfire, and Muslims who are unrighteous, why should they be put in heaven? We have to understand that what is the meaning of the word righteousness.
What is the meaning of righteousness?
And what is the meaning of the word that who is a righteous person?
So remember here carefully, he is explaining now what righteous to be in heaven. Righteous and to be in heaven, just to say shahada. Do you see what Islam teach? You see, I told you a million times, in Christianity and Islam, maybe we share the same words, but they have different meaning. Righteous in Islam is not to be a good person to others, no. Is to say shahada, $100 loan. Prayer 5 times. This is like $25. Fasting, this is $10. Do you see what righteous? Until now, righteous is have nothing to do with being good person. According to what the Bible teach, righteous is saying shahada. That alone is more than 50% of righteousness. So listen carefully. That's why I warn you, Christians. Don't think when Muslims, when Muhammadan, those follow Satan, Muhammadan, when they say we are righteous, they don't mean what you think. Don't be stupid. When they say we are against fornication, fornication for them is not fornication to us. Justice for them does not mean justice. Theft, they are thieves. They teach you can steal from Christians and Jews and Muslims. So don't take what they say and measure it by the word in the dictionary. Measure it by their understanding of the word. Are we clear on that? So when a Muslim he says Islam is against fornication, you should know that Islam promotes fornication. Legalize fornication. Even being a pimp is legal in the Quran. What Islam does, give fornication a new title, make it court marriage, like muta, Dawah friend, one night stand, trouble marriage, student marriage. Like you're a student, you go to a different country, what you do? To prevent yourself, brother, from doing fornication, you find a girl, you pay her, she sleep with you, she marry you for 2 months, and now you go back, alhamdulillah, and you divorce her. That is nothing but fornication. Because the purpose of marriage is not really having a family, just to F a woman. So they just changed. Muta, what is muta? You hire a woman to F her in return of money, property. And now he is showing you, and I believe this is a very important video. Me, myself, I should download it. Showing you what is righteousness in Islam. Zakir, tell us what righteousness mean, what going to heaven happened in Islam.
And Muslims who are unrighteous, why should they be put in heaven? We have to understand that what is the meaning of the word righteousness. And what is the meaning of the word that who is a righteous person? For me, to make you understand, I'll give you a few examples. Number one, if there are total $199 divided into 64 notes. The 64 notes, To total all the value of these 64 notes, it is $199. And I distribute the notes to few people. Some get 10 notes, some get 20 notes, some get 30 notes, some get less, some get more. A normal person who may not be aware of the notes and the value will say whoever gets the most notes, number of notes, is the richest person. No, it's not like that. We have to see what is the value of each note. In these 64 notes, one note is of $100.
$100.
One note is of $20. The $100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners.
Okay.
And Prophet Muhammad is the messenger.
You see, he is explaining righteousness. If you say the Shahada, which is nothing but shirk, which means associating someone with God. According to them, Allah is God, Muhammad is Prophet. But you can see that Muslims are mushrikeen, they are kuffar, they are pagan. They associate a man, his name is Muhammad, making him equal to Allah, and they made him the reason to go to heaven. You have to say the name of Allah and Muhammad is a prophet, and then that alone grant you more than 50% of righteousness to go to heaven, which means you're already in heaven. Continue, Zakir. Saying that sentence alone give you the biggest note Allah printed. Out of the $199, you just receive $100 for saying the Shahada.
$100 notes is for a person who believes that there is only one God and that God has got no partners and Prophet Muhammad is the messenger of that Almighty. The number $20 bill, US dollar, is a person who prays 5 times a day. Then there's one $10 note, there is two $5 note. $10 note is for a person who gives zakat, who gives charity. $5 note is a person who fasts, and $5 note is a person who goes for Hajj.
That's it.
The remaining
mean nothing.
all if you put together is $140. The remaining $59 are $1 bill. All put together are 65 notes. So 59 notes are of $1. So just because somebody has 30 notes or 30 bills doesn't make him rich. If he has 30 bills of $1, he has only a value of $30.
You see? So Islam is about this. You say, so you see, they accuse us that we are the one who believe that if Jesus died for our sin, we go to heaven right away. When the fact it's them, whoever believe in Muhammad, he got 100 note, he's going in heaven. You fornicate. Did he say if you don't fornicate? Did he say if you don't kill? He didn't say if you don't cheat. No. You say Shahada, that's it. You did not do it. No act. It's just a word you say in your tongue, sitting in your ass. Say Shahada, 100 note. You pray 5 times a day, $20 note. Why I want to do more notes? That's it. I'm in heaven anyway. And this is the explanation of being righteous. And don't forget to give charity. To who? To Muhammad. Have you ever heard of a God? His name is Muhammad. He say, who want to give Allah alone? Huh? Why Allah don't give you alone? Who want to give Allah alone? Let us go back to the Abdul. Where is the guy? The cowboy. Tell us more, Abdul. Tell us more about what happened.
23, that he said that he is a slave. He's free and belongs to no man, yet he has made him slave. Everyone. To a Jew, he becomes like those not under the law. He becomes like those not under the law.
You see how stupid you are, liar? What Paul is saying, everybody understands different language. If I go right now to someone live in the jungle, he never heard of Jesus, and say to him, Jesus loves you. People would, what? Who would Jesus? Do you see how you stupid liar? So with the Jew, I speak as a Jew. I'm a scholar. I speak different language because simply they knew already who is a Christ. They are waiting for a Christ. They believe in Christ. If I go to a pagan, a black stone kisser like your prophet, And I say to him the word Messiah. You say, oh, is Messiah? What is that? So there's a person you need to give him introduction, and there's a person you can debate him about the law, which he have a full copy of it. It's like going to the lawyer, speaking to a lawyer, or to a judge. He understands the law in full. Or speaking to someone ignorant like you, he do cowboy business. If I talk to you, I'm talking to a cowboy. I talk about cows. You are a professional in cows, not in God. So what Paul is saying, we speak to everybody in his language. And isn't it you Muslims, you say, if I ask you right now, how come Allah did not forbid alcohol? You say, well, they are pagan. They drink. The Quran did not forbid everything right away. What does that mean? Are you speaking to the pagan as a pagan? So you allow them to do everything? People used to go around the Kaaba naked, totally naked, period. And Muhammad never opened his mouth. The disciples are going around the world to people who never heard of Moses, of Abraham, of any of those names. People goes around the Kaaba naked. You know what naked mean? Naked. This is the house of nudity. This is the house of fornication, where people, they do tawaf, and after that they do boom boom, asking the God of fertility, Allah, to fertilize their vagina. Women, they go, in your books it says, women, they put their hand on the black stone when they have their period, praying to Allah to fertilize them. The tafsir says the black stone was white like milk, سودته دماء الحيض, made it, or it made black by the vagina blood. Here you see the Arab of Quraysh in the time of Muhammad. And actually one of those women, she was singing around the Kaaba, speaking about her vagina and her boobs. And Muhammad, he wanted to F her too. So Muhammad was watching people going around the Kaaba totally naked. How come Muhammad did not get angry? Christians, when the Jews, they were selling and buying, not in the temple, far, you know, the temple had many yards, the outskirt yard of the temple. What Jesus did to those who they are selling and buying in the outskirt of the temple, he flipped their tables and he said to them, you are making the house of my father a bazaar. If Muhammad is a prophet of God, can you show me one verse in the Quran speaking about going nude around the Kaaba? In fact, you Muslims until now, you practice it. You just cover yourself by a sheet. Until now, the Muslims, they go nude. In fact, nowadays, Muslim women, they are wearing the same clothes of men, which is showing half of their body around the Kaaba. Let me show you. Maybe Christian. They are lying. Brother, look what women are wearing now around the Hajj, around the Kaaba. So what they did after Islam, they put a sheet, but still they are naked, no panties, no clothes. It's not even a dress. It's not a dress. This is a sheet of the Hindus. And this woman going in the Hajj, taking videos. This is a video around the Kaaba. Look what kind of makeup she has. What is that? By the way, is that a woman or a homosexual? So, when the Muhammadan, they accuse us of something, they are the one who have it. Muhammad himself, he dropped his clothes naked around the Kaaba. They tell you the story of the black stone. Go and check it out. When Muhammad was carrying the black stone, his clothes fell down. Okay, how your clothes fell down? Guys, have you ever heard of somebody wearing clothes? His clothes fell down? It was not a clothes. It was a little sheet around him, his waist. He was going to the Kaaba to go naked as the rest. When they go around the Kaaba, they take all the sheet they have and they go naked, and then they if each other. What the Muslims do when they go around the Kaaba? Read with me. And then you will see what they say here. It says, Madakirana. So we are going to have our penises dripping sperm. You know, here you see. Read with me carefully. And this is Sahih. We used to do with the Prophet, go with the Prophet, all of them. And our male organs, I don't want to say the word in Arabic, dripping semen. What is that? What do you mean? What do you mean? They are going around the Kaaba and their penises are dripping semen? And this is Sahih. So what was the religion exactly? Is a practice where the Prophet and the believers doing tamattu. What tamattu? Effing women. Tamattu is the word muta, sexual enjoyment. So they if women around the Kaaba and their penises is still dripping semen. If a man, he had sex with his wife, for how long your penis will be, excuse my language, for how long you will be dripping semen? Are you an elephant? What do you mean? Do you live inside the Kaaba? This is their religion. Anyway, this video will become so long if we answer everything this potato say. So let us move a little bit when he talk about Sneako.
Gospel, worship a man, then it's okay to lie. So
if you tell people to worship a man, it's okay to lie. That's like, you know, but don't you Muslim worship a man? Isn't it Allah himself worship a man and pray on him? Allahu wa malaikatuhu yusalluna ala nabi, and they lie to you and they say to you, this means blessing. Salah mean prayer. Can you go to heaven without Muhammad? No. Okay. If I believe in Allah and his testicles without believing in Muhammad, can I go to heaven? No. So who is the one who believes in a man and worship a man? Is it true if the Prophet, his eyes fall into your wife, you have to divorce her so he can F her? Obviously, you don't worship a man, but he can F your wife. Is it true that the Prophet is above even Islam, which means you can marry 4, Muhammad can F as many? You have to pray. Muhammad don't have to pray. He pray as he wish. You have to pay the woman money before you F her. Muhammad do not need to pay. Muhammad, he will get payment for Fing a woman. If you die, your wife, she can get married. Can the wife of Muhammad get married? No. Muhammad is above Islam. Islam is made for, there's two kinds of Islam. There's Islam where Muhammad is God, cannot be touched, is above the command of Allah. He have a different law for marriage, different law for dowry, different law for witnesses, different law for punishment, different law for everything. Any woman, she can offer herself to the Prophet. Can a woman offer herself to you? No. Do you have the fifth of the booty? No. What do you have then? If we say Muhammad is a Muslim is someone who obeys the law of Allah. But as you see, Muhammad, he don't obey any of the law of Allah. He is above the law. All satanic cult leaders, they give themselves a privilege. All of them. Jesus, who he made it clear when they said to him, are you saying you are the son of the blessed God, the blessed one? He said, yes, I am. Yet, he never fornicate. He never steal. He never lie. He never even own a slave. He never own a donkey. He never own a house. He did not ask women to offer themselves to him. He did not take jewels and money. He saved thousands of people from their illness. How much people they were willing to pay to be healed? Kings. When the ruler bowed down to Jesus and worshipped him, as the Bible says, how much this ruler is willing to pay? How much? In the same time, how much Muhammad, he made money. Maybe we should make a video, a special one, about the money, where the wives of Muhammad, they are fighting over the gifts is coming to Muhammad, which is nothing but a bribe. How much gift Jesus was receiving? Continue, Abdul. You are not a cowboy, boy. You are a cow. Now, he is teaching Sneako what is haram. Haram is an Arabic word, mean forbidden. Refer either to something secret which exists. Okay, this guy is teaching Sneako what is haram now. Brother, do you like to call me and teach me what is haram? Is it haram to F a girl she is 6 years old? Is it haram to go your son's house and flirt with the wife of Muhammad did when she is married? Is it? Oh no, he's a prophet, the prophet. If the prophet come to my house and he do that with my wife, I will be honored. Yeah, he will be honored if the prophet effed his wife. Continue.
In Arabic, this led Sneako to start listing off all of his frustrations with Islamic rules.
Having fun as an adult is so hard without alcohol. Like, what do you do? Like, you're like a robot. Like, you don't do... Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, how much stuff do I have to give up? Pork, fun, alcohol, women...
This just shows the immaturity, and actually, I wasn't planning. It shows that he's intellectually dwarfed. You think that all of these things give you a successful, filled life?
As long those things don't give you a successful, filled life, why your God, he promised you a river of them in heaven? Potato? Listen, brother. Do you think alcohol will give you a nice life? I don't drink myself, by the way. Last time I drank some beer, maybe more than a year and a half, something like that. And if I drink like little. Brother, what are you talking about? Do you think those things, they can give you succeed happiness, brother? So why your stupid God, he promised you a river of wine, not a bottle of wine. A river. Abdul, do you know what river mean? by the river of Babylon, where we sat down, we saw Abdul speaking like a mule. He said he hate alcohol, but his heaven is full of it. Bowl. Hey, Abdul, isn't it this is your stupid Quran? Saying Allah will give you a river of wine. And not only that, there is boys going around you. Naked boys. And they are so white, like pearls. Oh, Muhammad, you like white boys. What we can say? Hold on. Okay, hold. What the heck is that? So beautiful. Brother. غلمان مخلدون كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون. Is that a poetry supposedly? And they're around them, brother. A brother. After they serve them alcohol from the river of the alcohol, around them will go youth. Do you see Sneako have youth who they are naked and white around him? You don't. Tell him, brother, you have to wait until to go to heaven. Then the naked youth who they are so white and they have a round ass go around you and they will serve you alcohol and they are so white. And look. And you will be sitting in with your women who you will F. Where? On high beds, brother. You cannot F them in a low bed. It's not good for all positions. So, recline upon their throne with their women fakihun. What fakihun mean? You go to the interpretation, Muhammad, he says, the Prophet said, you F them like this. Dahman. What? Dahman. Brother, alcohol will not give you joy. لذة للشاربين. Look what the Quran says. A river of wine, very tasteful, لذة, joy, a joy for the one who drink it. A river. Do you know what river? Rivers of wine. Not one river, not two rivers. Every Muslim will have a river. You sit in the couch, under your ass, there is a river of wine. Isn't it this is your stupid Quran? Chapter 47, verse number 15. So I'm telling the guy that wine will not give you joy. And this is the promise of joy. The whole heaven of Islam is about effing and drinking and eating. Do you see the stupidity of this cult? And to make it more stupid, Muhammad, he said that alcohol is from the production of shaitan. What the heck? We have a river of alcohol made by shaitan in heaven? Oh boy. Okay. I don't know what to talk about, you know. Look at this. Brother. Here he is talking, he is copying Paul. Isn't it Paul is the one who said? But here he doesn't say he will go to hell. No. He said this is ijtanibu, avoid it. No, it's not haram. In fact, I challenge any Abdul, from the tall one with to the shortest ever, to show me where in the Quran it says forbidden. It is not in the Quran. It says fajtanibu. Ijtanibu means avoided. This stupid donkey, he was teaching you what haram mean. Haram mean forbidden. This verse saying ijtanibu, avoid it. Do we have anybody? Any Abdul? So you are trying to teach people, trying to teach your friends what is haram? Brother. Is it haram to have sex with infant? No. Is it haram, brother, to beat your wife? No. Is it haram to steal the cow if your neighbor, who is a Christian or a Jew? No. Absolutely not. So this idiot Sneako, is a, this guy is a street boy, literally. Look who convert to Islam. Street boys or somebody have a mental illness. Continue, cowboy boy.
On the outside of saying, you're missing a little here, my friend. Not even paying attention. That's not to say the problem that you have with your iman, but you're missing some intellect, because I guarantee you, I've had tons and tons of fun Muslim, and let's
like what, guys. He had tons and tons of fun like a Muslim. Okay, like what?
Break this down. Let's talk about pork. You said can't eat pork. Okay, so what? Pork's not even like great of a meat. Even when I was a disbeliever before I came to the true faith, I wasn't having a fit if I couldn't have pork. And okay, well, bacon.
Okay, Abdul, you don't like to eat pork. Did you have fun drinking camel urine? What about we switch to the medicine? It's prescribed for you from the Prophet as a drink. Eat drink. And you Muslim, you should drink. Okay, what about you make a video drinking camel urine? I'm sure you live in Texas. You can find a camel. Huh? Make a video drinking camel urine and tell us how fun it is. Or what about drinking the piss of the Prophet? Is it true that you Muslim, you drank the piss of the Prophet and even his blood? You want to teach him how to have fun. What are you talking about? Pork? Yuck. Abdul, what if I show you from your stupid book that you can eat pork? Isn't it the Quran says that the food of the Christians is lawful for you? Isn't it? Isn't it even the same verse saying to you, you cannot eat pork? It says in the end of it, you can eat pork if you are hungry. Continue schooling Sneako.
Beef bacon's way better than pork bacon.
Sure.
Alcohol, yeah. I don't get too retarded and wake up in places I don't know, urinating all over myself. And
did he say waking up urinating about over myself? Brother, I have a question for you. If somebody, he is not a drunk, he entered the mosque and he unzipped his jeans, I'm assuming you are wearing jeans, and he start pissing in the same mosque where the Prophet is in. Do you think he did that because he was eating pork or a drunk? And why the Prophet allowed the man to do it and the Muslim never even clean the piss of the dog? You see, you are the one who mentioned piss. Just to give you an idea, who are the Muslims around Muhammad and who is Muhammad? During the lifetime of Allah Messenger, the whole lifetime of Muhammad. Not one day, not 1 week. This is not an incident once, twice. The lifetime. Dogs used to see, you see the word used? Hey, Abdul, your English is better than mine. For me, I don't focus on the English, I focus on the Arabic. Used. What the dogs used to do? The dog, he go inside the mosque of Muhammad, he lift his leg, he piss at the Prophet, and he leave. Same time, you stupid idiot. What did drinking have to do with being drunk? I drink like, I drank wine many times, but I never get drunk. What does have to do with being drunk? Being drunk is you exceed the limit. Wine is a very helpful food, like any other food. If you eat too much salt, you die. Too much sugar will kill you. Too much water will drown you. The Lord, he said, little of it bless your heart. And even science prove that those, especially for those who have a heart problem, alcohol can help them, but not to be drunk. So alcohol is not a problem, you donkey. The same as a knife is not a problem. Knife is useful. If we kill people with it, it's a crime tool. As the story of Abraham, peace be upon him, it says, like, you know, there's a story of a guy, he killed somebody else by the adze. You cannot do that, killing the guy by the adze, but you can cut your penis with it. See, the same tool, just to give you an example. So Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, he used to have a long penis, very long. And then Allah told him to do circumcision. The same adze which can be used to kill somebody, it can be useful. The first time actually a person have an adze, it was Abraham. Allah told him how to make it. Then Abraham, he put the adze, he put the penis, you know, he told his wife, you know, hey, listen, I hold it. No, not, what are you doing? No, the end, it's heavy. Okay, hold on. So like they move it slowly, they put it in the table, you know, it was like, and he asked his servants to help, and they place his penis on the table. And then the adze is so long, by the way, because, you know, we cannot reach to the end. And Abraham, he did it himself. He did not allow the servant to do it, because what if they miss? And they cut like 5 foot or 6 foot of it. He don't want that. He want to cut like only 2 feet. So, as you see, the same adze can be useful, or it can be harmful. By the way, did you do your penis with the adze? Just to remind you, instead of schooling the guy about how to be a Muslim, why you don't ask him if he's circumcised or not? And don't forget to ask your prophet, how come he never did circumcision himself? The Muhammadan, they claim that they are following the steps of Abraham, but their prophet himself never, ever did circumcision. What is the excuse? It's just so small. Well, my friend, this is not an excuse. Even if your prophet penis is so tiny, that is not an excuse. Still, you can do circumcision. It doesn't look, who cares? I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, going to walk in the street showing it to people. Otherwise, I challenge you, instead of teaching this guy about being a Muslim, why don't ask your prophet how come he did not circumcise himself? What went wrong? School him.
Lots of problems, possibly drinking and driving, possibly. Well, yeah, you don't get to do any of that.
Oh, you did not hear about Muslims who were drinking? They were driving their cars in Germany and in Europe, and they killed more than 130 people in one day. They were drunk, brother, drunk with Muhammad. See, Islam doesn't make you drive over people. No. Only if you are drunk with alcohol. Okay.
That stuff anymore. Okay. And then women. Let's talk about women. Okay. You can have women. You can have gorgeous, amazing, beautiful women who will pray for you in the middle of the night.
They will pray for you in the middle of the night? Now I know why Muhammad, he could not have babies. Hey, Prophet, what we should do now? Should we, pray for me? Prophet, shouldn't we do, What do you mean you have a gorgeous women, they are praying for you in the middle of the night? Are you sure? That's what Muslims do? Muslim women, when they marry a Muslim man, they marry him and they pray for him in the middle of the night? What I'm missing? Look at his face. Look at the, by the way, he's teaching him how to be happy. His face is a face of a happy man. I don't want to zoom too much. It's late at night and most of you will go to sleep soon. It's a happy face. Yeah, you can get many. How many women? How many women we can get, brother? Is it true that 4 at the time and we can replace them? You want to have 4 some, don't you? Ah, you are a decent man. For some only. Okay, okay.
Guess what? You got to be committed. You can't just take them and leave them and treat them like trash.
Ah, you have to be committed. This is why divorce is so easy in Islam, brother. This is why the Prophet allowed them to do mut'a, brother. Committed, committed.
You actually got to be a responsible
Ooh.
man, not a irresponsible male.
Okay, okay. How you can be a responsible man? Okay, my friend, you are a responsible man. I have a question for you. I'm sure you will watch my video. And I invite you, by the way, forget about all the things I said about you. You are welcome anytime to call me. Listen, forget about the lies now. Later the lies. Listen. A Muslim responsible man. He is what? He is very responsible. He went to his wife and he found his wife being effed by his neighbor. His neighbor is Abdul, like him. All right? He came to the Prophet. Who? The responsible man. He told him, are you saying, if I find my wife being effed by a man? He came to the Prophet, he says to him, I saw my wife. She is effing the guy. She is effing the guy. Her legs was up, open like victory sign. He is in the top of her. I saw him with my own eyes. So he went to the Prophet describing how the man is effing his wife. The Prophet, he said to him, well, you have no proof. Who? Prophet, I saw the guy. I saw the guy. He was doing boom boom, using his halloum. The Prophet, he said, no, you did not. That's not enough. So what, Prophet, what I should do? You have to bring 4 witnesses, not including you, which means 5 now. So the guy said to him, said to Muhammad, are you saying to me, if I find my wife with a man, I should give him some time until I bring 4 witnesses? The Prophet said yes. Brother, don't go to the court in Texas and told them I found my wife cheating. I'm talking about Sharia court. You as a Muslim, you don't go to a court of Texas. Hello? Haram, haram. They will say to you, not only for witnesses, no, they have to see the penis of the man going in and out. Literally. The Prophet, he said, the false Muhammad, the same as a pen enter into the inkwell. Tell him more about having fun. Brother, school him.
That's the problem with you, Sneako, is you're a male. You haven't turned into a man yet from anything that I've seen.
He's a male. He's not turned into a man now. Listen, this Muslim is teaching the other Muslim the difference between male and the man. He is a male. He's the man now. Hey, brother, when Muhammad, he went to his own son's wife, and he flirted with the wife when she is in the house of his son, was he a male or a man? Guys, isn't it this is a legitimate question? This is my challenge for you. cowboy boy, I challenge you to make a video and to tell us, when the Prophet went to his own son, now you will say to me, a son by adoption, still his son. Isn't it forbidden for a Muslim even to wish a woman she is not his wife? Forget about being son. Let us say a friend, another Muslim. Was Muhammad a male or a man when he fornicate with his own son's wife? You are schooling the poor Sneako about being good and you follow a pervert? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? This guy, he is making his own religion, you know, like, okay, you are a male now. You are not a, you did not become a man. You did not become a man, brother. And by the way, I have to mention that in that story about Muhammad and his fornication, which is praised by Muslims, and this is the official website of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it says here, there's a miracle here, by the way. After Muhammad, he flirted with this woman, his son wife Zainab. His wife, she said, each time her husband he wanted to F her, Allah made a miracle. What is the miracle? تورم ذلك منه حين أراد أن يقربها. Each time Zayd, after Muhammad, he flirted with Zainab in her house, in the house of her husband. Each time Zayd, he tried to F his wife, may Allah bless her vagina. Allah made the penis of the husband swell. And those Christians, they lie and they say Prophet never have a miracle. Oh boy, I don't want that to happen to me. So if the Prophet, he wish a wife of somebody, Allah will make the penis of the husband swell? Chris Demrance, you are lying. Doesn't say that. It doesn't say that, CP. What? It doesn't say that, CP. Who? Okay, it says in front of me in Arabic. It doesn't say, okay, and then another Muslim, he's smart. He will say to you, this hadith reported from Amr ibn Masood, from Aisha and Al-Hassan. Everybody knows that Hassan is a liar. Everybody knows. Hassan, you know Hassan? The guy you go with under tits in the TV? Yeah, he's a liar. What the heck? This is in your official website and your official books. Nobody complained about it for a century. Now they will say to you, they will find excuse. Here it says that when the Prophet, he came to the house of his own son, wife, he found a woman wearing almost nothing. Bayda'un Jasima. She was big and beautiful. The Arab, by the way, in their culture in the old days, they used to adore a woman who is so big. The bigger she is in the size, the more good she is, because they believe she will give them good babies. You know? So if a woman, she is skinny, no, nobody will marry her. When I was a kid, there is a song, they sing it, you know, I don't know what this song means. It says there's a woman, she is so beautiful to the point when the camel went down to carry the woman, he could not carry it. And I was thinking, what does have to do with the beauty of this woman? Why the song is saying that? It took me some time, you know, to figure out in the culture of the Arab in the old days that if a woman, the camel cannot carry her, that means she is extremely hot. Crazy hot. Women these days, they don't eat, they don't want to, etc. At that days, eat as much as you can. Actually, you will find the story of Aisha. If you remember Aisha, peace may Allah bless her vagina, you know, her mother, she had to feed her extra food so she can grow faster, so the Prophet can F her. Christian Prince, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that, CP. Are you sure? I am sure. Okay, hold on. Where is the hadith? Hold on. Here we go. Let us zoom in. And by the way, here you notice the benefit of the cucumber. My mother intended to make me gain weight to send me to the house of the Messenger of Allah. But nothing worked, brother, nothing worked. Okay? But nothing worked, which she desired benefited me. Till she gave me cucumber. Aisha, where you use the cucumber? Are you sure? Cucumber make you grow faster? How small Aisha she was? You know, the Muslim, they say to you, Aisha, she was big in the body. She was ready for boom boom. She was horny. She was engaged to a guy before the Prophet, they say. Yes, Aisha, at the age of 4, she was dating someone else. Yes. I even heard that she have 3 boobs. But I'm not sure about this reference. What? All what they say to us about Aisha growing women, she was big in the body, physically fit, it turned to be a fraud. She's so small, so tiny. And her mother, she is desperate to make her have little ass. So she starts pushing things in her mouth. Shoes, rags, potato, tomato. Eat, daughter, eat. You need to eat. The Prophet will F you tomorrow. Next week, we need to send you there. Look at you. You have no legs, you have no ass. Eat. Mama, I eat too much, I cannot mean it. Eat, you have to eat. So the mother, she keep pushing food inside her. And then finally, there is a method. Eat a cucumber and a fresh date. Now, how many women they will stop eating date forever after this? Let us see. And this guy is teaching the other guy about how to be a good Muslim. Okay. Tell us more. Tell us more before and after. He's schooling the guy. Let us move a little bit beside his stupidity. Let us go to Sneako. Hey, Sneako, what are you doing, man? Trash boy, street boy.
And invest. A lot of people invest. Investing is not haram.
And who is that woman behind him wearing no hijab? Do you see, guys, the women behind him wearing no hijab? Who is this? Look. Isn't it this is a woman, female? So you did not notice that there is a woman in the back wearing no hijab, brother. But you notice the guy saying, what, I can have fun? What she is doing there? What the heck? You, no, I'm not talking about you. No, I'm not talking about you. There's a woman behind me without a hijab. No, 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, 5 women. So all this, the Muslim did not notice that in the video there is a woman wearing no hijab, sitting like this in the couch. And you notice the rest? Maybe this is Zainab bint Jahsh. But she don't look big, neither white, as the hadith says. Zainab, she was so big and white. Bayda'un jasima. Continue.
What you invest in. If you invest in something haram, then it's haram. But investing on...
now he's talking about investing. Guys, if you invest in something haram, it's haram. Abdul. I mean, isn't it stupid of you to say what you just said? Isn't it the Quran forbid you to invest in anything except with Allah? Isn't it the Quran says that, you see the Muslim, by the way, they claim that interest is forbidden, right? Interest, riba, it's mentioned in the Quran. But in fact, you will find that interest have different form in Islam. This is the interest in the Quran. Quran describe itself, or Islam describe itself as a tijara. What tijara mean? Tijara is a commerce. Buying, selling. You know? And the word tijara appear in the Quran all over. So Muhammad, he said to them, shall I lead you to a tijara? Okay, what this tijara will do? Tijara, you give Muhammad money. And Muhammad will give it to you 100 times more when you go to heaven. So how you say you are against interest? And then you say, if you invest with Allah, you give him money. We're talking about literally money. أدلكم على تجارة. Let me lead you to a tijara. This tijara, you know, sometimes I wonder if Muhammad is making statement against Islam or for Islam, because this is something against Islam. If Islam is against interest, if Islam is not a business, Islam is a business. O believers, shall I direct you to a commerce that shall deliver you from hell? Okay, what is that? You fight for the sake of Allah by your soul and by your money. Is the money involved? Yes. How the money involved? Read this verse. You give Muhammad literally money. If you remember Mimi Hijab, after he debated David Wood, Lily Dawah came and he made a video, says, oh, give Allah good loan. Brothers, sisters, 100,000 people leave Islam every year in America alone. Go give Allah a loan. How you give it to him? To who? To Muhammad. This is the commerce. In Islam, you believe that if you give Allah, aka Muhammad, money, your money will multiply many, many times. Isn't this the interest? You see, you did not do any work. You did not. Allah did not even buy property with it. Muhammad, he spent it in his wives having sex with them. How that become an investment? If you want to meet with the Prophet, you have to pay him money. You cannot meet the Prophet without paying him money. If you pay him money, let us see. Where is the verse? No, that's one. No. Okay, hold on. Oh boy. Read with me carefully. Chapter 58, verse number 12. Look how you can invest with Allah. O who you believe, when you want to counsel with the Messenger of Allah in private, spend something in charity Oh, what the charity talking about? You give money to Muhammad. Muhammad is a clinic. A prophet, he don't open his mouth unless you pay him. How many of you, in order to talk to me, you have to pay me? None. How many of you spoke to me in private if you have to, like you are a Muslim? Many, they speak to me in private. Especially when they leave Islam and they ask me to speak to a member of their family. They don't want to be live on air. How much you pay me? None. Why we have to pay Muhammad in order to speak to him? And now he will say to you, charity. Well, the charity given to Muhammad. And this is mean only those who have money, Muhammad speak to them. And this is confirmed in the chapter of Abasa, where a blind man came to Muhammad and Muhammad kicked him out. And the interpretation says clearly that Muhammad was thinking, oh, now the rich ones of Quraysh, they were visiting him and they will say, look who follow me, poor people. So he kicked him out. Abasa wa tawalla in ja'ahu al-a'ma. Is that your Quran and your prophet? Is that what Jesus did to the blind man? He turned his face away because he is a poor man? Or he make the blind man see? I'm not going to ask you, how come Allah could not make a... I mean, okay, Muhammad is a prophet and he is the best prophet, yet he have a person who desperate wanna be a Muslim. He's a blind man. Muhammad not only kicked him out, and then people, they start talking about him, talking about Muhammad. Look how filthy he is. Look how trashy he is. He speak to rich people. He kicked the blind man away. Money come first. Which one I should talk to? The blind man, poor man, or those leaders of Quraysh? Or the leaders of the pimp and rotettes? You have a $300 million. Which one? Islam is celebrity, money, fornication magnet. That is the truth. And this potato is schooling others about being a good Muslim. Brother, you are so good. Shall I continue, guys, or enough for today? I think enough. What do you think? Shall I continue? Or maybe a little bit more. Let us see. Maybe I should stop making like details, because that would be endless. I mean, everything he say, we have a lot of things to bust him with.
Its face value is not.
Ah, not haram. That's it. He became a sheikh now.
You can invest, but you can't invest it into things that involve usury. But any real investment typically...
Brother, can I invest with the androtates? Is the investment of androtates is haram? Brother, is the money of androtates is haram? Sure not. Is a brother, a Muslim brother, you know? How he get money, so what? Brother, he got it from the sweat of the vagina. It's not haram. It's lawful, brother. Okay, what about the money of the Prophet? He stole it from the Jews. Halal. 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 Okay. I can show you even fatwas about stealing electricity to do ablution. A Muslim, he sent a question to the sheikh, asked him, can I steal electricity, which means he's not paying for it, to heat water to do ablution? The answer is yes.
Deals with interest. Unfortunately, that's just how it is.
They're saying credit cards are haram.
Yeah.
They are saying credit card is haram. Yeah. According to Islam, it's haram. So how you can be a Muslim? Ask this potato, the cowboy boy, do you have a credit card? And not only that, the credit card company is owned by the Jews. The credit card companies, all of it is owned by the Jews. MasterCard, Visa card is Jews owned, Jews operated.
But here's where things start to get more interesting. Sneako built a large portion of his Rumble audience based on his conversion to Islam. So, of course, this has led to him building an audience that's heavily interested and invested in his Islamic journey. And just when the Muslims in his chat started to believe that them and Sneako were finally getting on the same page, he made it crystal clear that they weren't. The persistence of his Muslim followers encouraging him to act in accordance publicly with his faith has led to Sneako saying things like this.
We get it. Porn is bad. Haram! Don't do that. It's a sin. That's trannies. Like, oh my God, we get it. Can I go outside now? My Rumble comments, all that's like, Sneako's hanging out with these. Sneako betrayed us. Why is he eating dinner with these people?
First of all, Sneako, I have a good news for you. Who in the world says porn is haram? I challenge any Mohammedan to show me any proof that porn is haram in Islam. Is that fair? People, is that fair? What is porn? What is porn? Porn is watching women in a way it make you sexually excited. Okay. Wonderful. But isn't it all the Quran is porn? And the Quran trying to make you sexually excited? Does it make a difference? If it is, I see it, or I hear it, or I read it? Same time. Isn't it Muhammad, he said from his own mouth, that in the heaven there's a bazaar, and this bazaar have nothing but images. Let me find the hadith so they will not say I'm making things up. Images of men and women. What? Images of men and women. What? Images of men and women. What? I thought porn is haram. Even Allah, he is the first Playboy magazine maker. And the customers are men. What? Yes, brother. And who is the one you will F? Men and women. Read. Oh, I cannot read. I'm a illiterate cowboy. His Christian prince. This hadith is weak. Weak, head, embarrassing. Habib, this is... The messenger of Allah said, in paradise. Where? In paradise. Where? In paradise. This is not in a Playboy station. This is not in Andrew Tate's website. This is in paradise. Okay, okay. What is in paradise? Guys, can you read? Is the reference coming clear to you? I mean, is it... let me make it more clear for you so you can see it. Most of you are... I'm the only one is young here. All of you are old. I'm the only one who can see from a distance of 20 miles away. Especially if there is images there. Of what? The Messenger of Allah said, in paradise, there is a market. I want to go to that market. But I'm not interested in the image of man. What the heck? Yuck. In which nothing bought or sold. We buy and sell. I thought for free. I thought paradise is paradise because it's for free. It turned even there. You have to bring your money with you. Now we knew why Muhammad, he says, a brick of gold, a brick of silver, gold bracelets. So here he said, in which nothing is bought or sold except images of men and women. What? No way. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I wish I can make the lips of Sneako. Hey, Sneako, make your lips again. How is Sneako make his lips? Sneako, do it again. Hold on. I want to go. Like, yeah. Sneako, what are you doing? Are you serious? So you're schooling the guy about porn, and your prophet promising you porn, literally. Images of men and women wearing nothing. To F them, brother? Brother? Hello? In paradise? Let me flip the pages. I want to see the images. Oh, look at this image. Oh boy, this is even better. What she has? What the hell is that? Why her vagina look like this? Is that a plastic vagina? I'm not sure. Image is oh, they had this vagina is look like weird. Look like a watermelon. Oh, I forgot Muslim they can have sex with watermelon too. Is that porn? Isn't this even watermelon you make porn with it? Even watermelon you make a hole in it. Those Muslims, they act as if they are following Jesus, who teach not to fornicate. They are following a fornicator. All your religion is about fornication. And this guy, look at him. Bark, bark, bark. What the heck is that? And the cowboy boy is scoring the guy. Huh. Ha. What are you doing, brother? Let me school you. Shame on you. And then the hadith says that those images which is in heaven, if you like the image, you enter it and you F it. That's deep. That's so beautiful. Islam is against porn. Allah, He print magazine in heaven, directed by Allah, printed by the Prophet. Don't forget to go to our mall. In our mall, there is nothing but a Playboy magazine. Only clients who they are male are allowed, and the images of men and women, which mean homosexuality. If a man like the image, he will enter into it between two brackets, i.e., it will become his. Look at this. Look at this. The morality. So this guy is teaching the other guy morality. What I would do? What I would do? Bad boys, what boys? Do you see why no Muslim dare to call me? Let me open Skype for a second. I did not open Skype because I want to cover those. Maybe we can cover at that time more. But let us see if there is any Muslim. Sheikh. Do we have a Sheikh? We have a Sheikh. Hold on. He called himself Sheikh, so I don't know. I'm calling the Sheikh, but he is not answering. Let us try to call again. His name is Sheikh what? Zaman? What the heck? Okay, hold on. Let us see another Muslim. The Sheikh is not here. Let us see this guy. What happened? All the Muslims are using the internet of the neighbors? Oh boy. Okay, let's see other one. Yeah, this is the smart one. Hey Asad, how are you doing, my friend? Hello? Hello? Are you there? I don't hear you. Your voice is so low. Where are you speaking from? I wouldn't hear anything. Okay, hold on. Check your Skype from your side. I will check my Skype. Give me a second. Audio setting. Microphone. Yeah, I have to the maximum in my side, so it's from your side. Let me call you one more time. You may not. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Skype saying to me your speaker volume is too low. But when I check, it's not low, it is the opposite. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, now it's working. So Asad, are you listening to us live on air or you're not?
I just listen a few seconds. Then I was busy.
You are busy what? Watching magazine?
No, I have to work.
All
I
right.
have team.
So Asad, I have a hadith in front of me. It says, in the heaven of Allah, there's a market where there's nothing but images of women and men. And if you like the image, you go inside it and have sex with it. What do you think about this?
In heaven, anything can possible.
I heard this before. I asked a Muslim, I remember he's a sheikh. I said to him, what if a person, he wished to have sex with his mom? He said, so what the problem? Do you agree with that?
That's so funny.
Why funny?
It's illogical.
Why is illogical? So is it illogical to be in heaven? Anything is possible? You just said to me a second ago, anything in heaven is possible, which means there's no logic at all. Anything is possible. You said that a second ago.
Okay. You know that if you only can go to heaven if you have like a clean heart. So
where it says in the Quran, if you have a clean heart, you go to heaven.
In Quran, the word use qalb salim.
What? Qalb salim?
Qalb salim.
Okay, I will go with you. You know. Do you have your Quran with you?
I can open Quran online.
Okay. Before we go to the Quran, so if a man, he saw a woman in the street walking, and he, looking at her, he kept looking at her until he got so horny. Do we have a qalb salim, which means good heart, or a bad heart?
Like on earth?
Oh, on earth, like what you know, you will look at women walking in the street in heaven too?
Okay, like you walking in the street and you saw a girl.
Yeah.
And okay,
you keep looking. You keep looking at her ass.
Like you can look. It don't have problem, but you can't touch her. You can't have sex with her without marriage.
So you can look at her ass and keep staring. It is halal in Islam, correct?
Not staring, but you can look like.
Okay, I have a friend, a woman, she was walking by, and then by looking at her, his penis got so excited Do you think he was staring or just one look?
You know, we discussed that day, like we all do sins in life.
This is another question. Don't change my topic. My friend, he saw a woman walking down the street. You know the song, walking down the street, la 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 la. This is him. He sing it. So she was walking down the street. A woman walking by. He looked at her. He got so excited. Is that because he was looking for long or just a second?
Bro, like it's wrong. It's a sin.
It's a sin. But this is what your prophet did. Read with me the hadith. Your prophet, he saw a woman walking down the street. He got so horny to the point he cannot take it no more. He went to his wife immediately and he effed his wife, who was doing leather tanning, which means he cannot wait. I mean, the woman she is doing, do you know what leather tanning mean? Mean she is boiling water, adding color. I mean, she messed up. He could not wait. He forced her into sex, standing. I cannot describe the position for you. It's not good for your age. So, and all of this because he saw a woman walking in the street, and you just said it's a sin. So, did Muhammad have a good heart when he did that?
Bro, I accept that nobody is perfect except Jesus and.
But a second ago, you told me if you have a good heart, you go to heaven.
Like
what I O? Listen, you have a different alphabet. I, O, he, she, O. Listen, I ask you, who go to heaven? You said if you have a good heart. Okay, then we go to the topic of good heart. And then I ask you, if a man, he see a woman, he got so horny looking at her, is he ever having a good heart? You said, no, this is sin. Now you are saying to me, oh, you know, nobody is perfect. Oh, that means all of us should go to heaven because none of us is perfect. If this is the scenario, nobody is perfect. Well, all of us we should go to heaven.
Bro, there is a difference between a sin and a cruelty. So
cruelty. What is that word? What cruelty? Okay. What do you mean by cruelty?
A man who is cruel.
Like what the heck does that mean? I don't know. Speak to me English.
Like a man who force a woman to do sex.
Did Muhammad force Sophia to have sex with him?
Like she's his wife.
What his wife? Like, he just killed her father, her brother, her husband. He just killed them. He just killed them a second ago.
So, bro, you that day I already accept that you won on these topics. I accept you 90% because of that.
So are you saying to me 90% Muhammad is a pervert? There's 10% he's not pervert?
Okay, for example, I accept that.
You accept Muhammad is 90% is a pervert?
No, I'm just giving example.
No like, problem. And I'm going with your example. You are the one who mentioned the number 90%, not me. So 90% of a Christian prince, he says, is true. And we are just talking about Muhammad being a pervert. So you agree, Muhammad is a pervert. So how you can follow a pervert because of 10% you think it's good?
Okay, let me tell you. You have to listen me, please.
Okay, I will take a nap. Go ahead.
I told you that day. I agree with you 90%, and I told you in text also, I will accept Christianity if you will satisfy me 10% more. So if you can answer my question, I have few questions. If you will answer me and if you can satisfy me, then I will accept Christianity.
My friend, if you want to be satisfied, go and read the magazine of Allah in the heaven, which is full of images of men and women. What do you mean satisfy me? Don't speak dirty. Same time, I am asking you now. I will let you answer the question you asked me yourself. Is Jesus bad like the 90% of Muhammad? Either you say yes or no.
I already told you that Jesus and his mom are perfect, but
Answer the question. Don't, I just told you, you not tell me. You say that Muhammad 90% of him is bad. Okay.
no,
Do Jesus
no,
have 90% bad on him?
no. I did not say that 90% bad. I just said you are right because mostly Muslims are wrong. 90% Muslims are wrong. They lying with themselves. They lying. Their scholars are lying with Muslims. They are wrong. They are not showing true Islam. So you are showing them. You are kicking their asses every day. You are exposing them because I heard your yeah, like you said in that video that Muslims don't follow their Quran. I don't
Do you follow the
Quran.
Quran yourself?
I read Quran. I try to follow it. So let me finish, bro.
No.
Just
You see, for me, I do conversation. I don't do, I'm a person. I did not tell you, before I used to be in the police. So when I talk to people, I do some kind of investigation to understand the situation. So now, do you follow the Quran or you read the Quran only?
I try to follow Quran.
What you can follow?
I
Can you tell me the things you follow in the Quran?
like things I follow in Quran is to be a good person.
Where in the Quran
And
it says to you to be good? Is being good in the Quran is to lie? Is being good in the Quran that you can take false oath?
Where is mentioned in Quran?
All the Quran. What do you mean? I thought you said you read the Quran.
Yes, I read Quran. Yeah, can you show me where it's mentioned?
All right.
Because that day you show me stuff and it was opposite.
Okay, opposite. Let's see. Actually, in fact, you agree with me. Now you are saying opposite. Chapter 2, verse number 225, it says, Allah will not take you accountable for false oath you take. The Muslim, they change the translation. They say it as they wish. Allah will not take you accountable for false oath. Is false oath is a slip of a tongue?
Let me find that verse. Chapter 2, verse number. Hello?
Hello? Yeah, you not hear me?
Chapter 2, verse number?
Verse 225.
225. Wait a second. Let me read it. 225. Okay. अल्लाह ताला ने तुम्हें तुम्हारी इन कस्मों पर ना पकड़ेगा जो पुख्ता ना हो। हाँ, इसकी पकड़ इस चीज पर है जो तुम्हारे दिलों को फेल हो। अल्लाह ताला बख्शने वाला बुर्दबार है। So here God saying that if you swear from bottom of your heart, then you do opposite of it, then God will not forgive you. But if you swear external swear, not internal, then God can forgive you because God is so merciful.
Brother, yesterday, unintentionally, I promised a woman, I swear to her that I love her. It was unintentional. Really. In my heart, I hate her. And the day before, I swear to other women, I said to her, I'm really crazy about you. But this is not my intention. In my heart, I don't like her. And the day before it, I said to other women, who looked like a guy actually, scared the hell of me, I told her, you know what, I am crazy about you. But because I was afraid, because she is so big and she's so strong, I don't know, and she even have she's wearing high heels and she can hit me with it. So brother, do you think this is an intentional oath? What do you mean from your heart? I mean, aren't you in control of your mouth? Isn't it this is Muhammad promoting you to lie, giving you license, says, okay, don't worry. And what if I divorce a woman? I divorce her. I say to her, you are divorced. I swear by Allah, you are divorced. Is it okay to play with the women, divorce her as I wish, take an oath? What do you think?
Like, let me tell you, you have to listen me. Don't
I'm
interrupt
listening,
me,
I'm listening.
okay?
My ears, hold on. Let me clean my ears. Go ahead.
In Hadith, it's mentioned that in three places you can lie. It's it is okay to lie in three places.
Okay, tell
First
us.
is war. Second is to make happy and save your marriage, to make happy your wife. And third is you have when you make good relationship with between two parties who are enemies, you know.
Okay, so now based on what you said, all the Islamic society, happiness is based on lies. So I lie to my friends to make them happy. I lie to my wife to make her happy. I lie to my enemy, which is the Christian and the Jews, to deceive them. So what is Islam is about then? Islam is satanic. This is what you said. So now I want to ask you, you are married, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How you lie to your wife to make her happy? Tell us. I want to learn from you. I'm not married yet, but I want to learn. I want to go to school, in Pakistan, to learn how to lie to my wife to make her happy. This is my plan. I want to make her happy all the time by lying to her. Tell me how you make your wife happy by lying to her. Go ahead.
Like everybody have a different nature, and like between a husband and wife, they both have different minds and nature always. So every person want that other person treat him how she is. So if you will treat her like how you are, then your relationship will destroy. And if you will compromise on that, and you have to respect herself, her nature, her mind, and her hobbies, activities, or whatever, because everybody have likes and dislikes. Everybody is not same, you know.
So your wife,
Created
she said to you, so you are saying to me, your wife, she said to you, I respect you, but she don't respect you because just trying to make, she don't want things to get worse. So this is okay in Islam. So your wife, she say, my husband, you are the most handsome man, but you look like a monkey. That's wonderful. So I want to marry a woman like this, because I look really literally like a monkey. So now you are saying to me, you make your marriage happy by you both lying to each other. Honey, what do you think about me? Oh, honey, you are so beautiful. Look at your hair. Oh my God, her hair. She don't even have hair. Honey, your eyes is so beautiful. Your eyes make me get scared. Please close them. Honey, what do you think about my butt? Oh, your butt is so round. She remind me of the head of my friend. Honey, really? I mean, the watermelon. I love watermelon. So this is how you're happy in marriage, you do by lying to each other. But sooner or later, one of you will discover that each one of you are lying. Don't you know that the lies have end? Sooner or later, she will find that you are a liar, and you will find that she is lying to you. So, what kind of a marriage is based on lies?
Okay. Christian Prince, can you answer my question about it? I will ask you about it, okay?
Ask me about it? What about the thing we are talking about it now? We are talking about it already. Why you want to change topic?
No, I'm not going to change topic. I have to ask you, what you think in a world, divorce percentage is so high. So what is the main reason of that, behind that?
The main reason, because divorce becomes so easy. And this is in Islam. All Muslims, they divorce their wives every day. It's just one text message. So divorce is so easy. Same time, women so cheap. Because in Islam, women shouldn't shut up. Women, they don't even inherit anything. Women, they got payment for what the service they did. So I know a Bedouin man, he was with me in school. After more than 30-40 years, his mother, she was married to his father. He dumped her in the street. She's already now very old. And now she is going to get what they agree upon. What did they agree upon? It was not even enough to buy a TV. After all those years serving him and bending over for his majesty. And now he dumped her in the street. So in Islam, it makes divorce so easy. And not only that, in Islam,
No,
what do you mean?
bro,
Okay, what it take for you to divorce your wife? Is it true? You just say the word divorce to your wife and she is divorced?
Christian Prince, I ask you about entire world, not about Muslim.
Why not? Why not? Aren't you? I thought the Muslims are the entire world, because ad-dinu indallahi Islam. The whole word for Allah is Islam only. That's it. This is the entire world. If you forgot, even genie are Muslims. I can show you videos of dogs' reaction for the adhan. I can show you a cat she don't walk in the Quran. I mean, I can show you even the zucchini praying to Allah. I can show you images of a tree bowing down to Allah. What do you mean the whole world? The whole world is a Muslim, brother. What are you talking about? Even Mickey Mouse converted to Islam. Focus with me, focus. So listen. So how come Islam and Muslim countries have the highest ever average of divorce?
You contradicting yourself. Because I watched your video, you you mentioned there that Muslims are only like they are not growing. Islam is not growing. Christianity is growing. Christianity is the #1 religion in world. No, you contradicting yourself. You saying that all world is Muslim.
Abdul, I'm saying what you Muslims say, not me. It's you Muslims who say cat is Muslims. It's you who says that the lizard converted to Islam when he saw the Prophet. It's you Muslims who say that when Muhammad wanted to do shit, he asked 3 trees to come and surround him and they said Shahada. It's you Muslims say that. So I laugh at you. You said to me, Christian Prince, you are so smart. Listen, are you a teacher in the Islamic University of Pakistan? Because you must have a PhD in intelligence. You should work with the Pakistani intelligence, because you can investigate anything. Abdul, this is what you say. You Muslim says everything is a Muslim. Okay, isn't it in the Quran? It says that Allah gave Quran to the animals too. Yes or no?
Say again.
Isn't it okay? Not to go to the Quran, to make it simple. Is it true that monkeys are Muslims?
Monkeys are Muslim? No.
No. You want to bet?
Like, can you show me in Quran that?
Okay, hold on. Do you want to bet that the monkeys are not only Muslims, they are Salafi?
Show me in Quran.
Why show you in Quran? What about the Hadith? We will go to the Quran later. Here we go. During the pre-Islamic period, this is the companion of the Muhammad. He saw. Hold on. He saw a group of monkeys stoning a female monkey who did fornication.
That's so funny.
What do you mean? Why you are laughing? Respect your prophet, man.
No. I told you that I respect only that hadith which Quran verify. Otherwise, I don't respect.
The Quran verify that all animals are Muslims.
Show me in Quran.
Okay. Chapter 6, verse number 38.
38.
Not only they are Muslims, they are nation like you, and they have a book. Okay. And they preserve the book too.
638. Okay, let me read. 638. Okay. और जितने किस्म के जानदार ज़मीन पर चलने वाले हैं और जितने किस्म के परिंद जानवर हैं के में दोनों बाजुओं से उड़ते हैं, इनमें कोई किस्म ऐसी नहीं कि जो तुम्हारी तरह के ग्रोह ना हो। हमने दफ्तर में कोई चीज़ नहीं छोड़ी, सब अपने परवरदिगार के पास जमा किए जाएंगे। Okay, So here God saying that you have groups like you are Muslim, Christian or Jews or whatever. Same like in animals, they have different categories, different nations, and so science says that in animals, they also have nations, groups,
Okay,
and
hold on, hold on.
speech.
Let us make it clear. Is animals are Muslims? Yes or no?
God not saying animals are Muslim.
Okay, I will make it more clear for you because you are so fast and intelligent. Is it chickens or birds are Muslims?
Chickens and birds are Muslims. You know what the definition of Muslim? Tell me.
Here we go. Now we will go to definition. Answer the question. You know, now we will go to the. I mean, after you have 10 kids, you want to tell to your wife what is definition of marriage? I mean, already you have 10 kids. You remind me of the Quran saying to Muhammad, "Hey Muhammad, it's allowed for you to f those women and those women." He is effing them for the last 20 years. Now you tell him who's allowed to f. Listen, don't tell me the definition. I want the answer. Is it chickens and birds, are they Muslims? Yes or no?
Muslim is one who
I don't care. I don't give me definition. I know Islam. You know, you don't teach me what Muslim now. I'm asking you. Give me the answer. Is it chickens and birds are Muslims? Yes or no?
They are creation of God.
This is not the question. What the heck is that? What's wrong with you? Why we need to ask? You see, you are the one who told me that when I ask Muslim a question, they go in a circle. Did you are doing the same? Is a chicken and birds, are they Muslims? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So how come the bird, he came to Sulaiman and he told him about the people who don't worship Allah, brother? What? Why you are laughing? Why you are laughing?
What was the name of that bird?
Huh?
What was the name of that bird?
Mr. Hudhud.
Oh, I remember.
Ah, you remember Hudhud? You saw him too? I saw him, brother. So what do you mean they are not Muslims? The Hudhud, the Hoopoe, he went to Sulaiman, he told him, brother, can you believe it, brother? Allahu Akbar. Those people, they are worshipping the sun, not Allah. And not only that, here we go. Look what he's saying. The bird, the chicken. I found her and her people worshipping the sun instead of Allah. Who is talking? The bird. Satan, the bird continued. Look at the bird. The bird is a rabbi. The rabbi bird. Hold on. Shut up. The rabbi chicken, Sheikh Othman, continue saying, instead of Allah and Shaitan, he made them, you know, stay away from Allah. This is a bird.
Okay.
What okay?
No, you have to listen me.
No, I don't have to. Is this bird believe in Allah and he speak Hebrew, or he don't believe in Allah and he don't speak Hebrew?
Okay. No, you have to listen me. I have to defend it.
Defend it? Are you sure?
Okay. If you have a army of Christian army, you know,
is that a Muslim chicken? Is that a Muslim chicken army?
Just listen me, bro.
What I'm having a conversation. So this is a bird. He's a chicken. So is this chicken is a Muslim army? Yes, it is. The Quran says so.
Just listen me, bro. There is a Christian army.
Crusade. Please don't say that. Say the crusade. Okay. Thank you.
A religious army, which is a Christian.
Crusade. Okay.
Crusade army. So they have dog. They train him, and they use in war. And that dog can do a lot of work for army. Crusade. So that dog is a Christian.
This dog, he came back, he told them those people, they are not following Jesus. Did this dog come back to the Christian army saying, brother, sisters, I found people from ISIS and the caliphate is there and he don't worship Jesus. Let us get him. This Abdul, what's wrong with you? This is a bird giving a speech about worshiping someone instead of Allah. The bird himself. And then the duck, she said, walk, 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 walk. Like, which means, what the heck? Are you sure? And then the sparrow, he could not believe it. He said, which means like, no way. What are you talking about? And then, like, you know, the whole kingdom of animals, like the donkey, Prophet Solomon, do something. Okay, what the heck is this? You are saying to me, so is this chicken is a Muslim, believe in Allah, and or does not?
Okay, Christian Prince, we can finish that debate in 5 minutes if you want, if you can help me. So we can decide who is winner or who is loser. So I already text you that I will accept Christianity live on call.
My friend, I don't care if you
Yes.
accept Christianity or you stay a monkey. This is not my business. I'm asking you, why you change topic now? So this is what the Muslims do. Okay, Christian Prince, I accept the Christianity. Who care? You accept Christianity, you don't accept Christianity. No, listen. You go to heaven, you go to hell. This is your business. I'm here to show you that your religion is a stupid religion. This is a fairy tale story. It's not even good for kids.
Just listen. I text you that same stories have in Bible. So
Same story in the Bible.
same stories like in Quran. It
Like what?
mentions.
Okay, hold on. So listen. Same story in the Quran mentioned in the Bible. Are you saying to me your prophet? What you meant is not this story, right? It's not about chicken talking, correct? And saying worshiping Allah. You are talking about different thing. Okay. So now, are you saying to me that there's additional proof that Muhammad is a fraud? He is copying from the Bible?
Not you think that Jesus is a fraud? He came after Moses and he was saying same stories to people. So
Jesus never said any stories. Jesus, he is the God of Moses and he commanded Moses and Moses followed the command.
So in Injil, they don't have old stories which
why we need to repeat the same story if the story already mentioned in the Old Testament? Why we have to keep repeating? Jesus says, I came to fulfill, not to destroy. So Jesus, he confirmed that what they have is valid and it is confirmed. I came to fulfill, which means I came to complete. So he gave law and the law need to be completed every stage in life. Human being, as an example, in the time of Adam, the children of Adam, they used to marry each other. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it haram at that time? Forbidden? No. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we have sex with our sisters today?
No.
Okay, but the sisters of the sons of Adam are the same as our sisters. Do we agree?
Yeah.
So what it changed? Time changed. Now, what if I show you in your religion you can have sex with your daughter in Islam?
You can you show me in Quran?
Okay. Do you know the verse that says وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا?
Give me a verse number and chapter number.
Here we go. نَسَبًا وَصِهْرًا, chapter 25, verse number 54. Open the interpretation of Al-Qurtubi and see. Allah, he appreciate only relationship by marriage. Anything else is not considered as a lineage. And you can read any interpretation you want. So, if a person have sex with a woman and she have a daughter, he can if the mother and the daughter, for it is not considered as his daughter in Islam.
Wait a second. That verse is in front of me. Let me read it. 25, 54. वो है जिसने पानी से इंसान को पैदा किया, फिर इसे नस्ब वाला और ससुराली रिश्तों वाला कर दिया। बिलाशुबा आपका परवरदिगार हर चीज पर कादिर है। ये okay, so
Give me the interpretation. You can open any Islamic interpretation and read.
okay, here God's saying that
Don't tell me God saying that. Listen, is it considered a daughter for you, a girl? You slept with her mother, and she gave birth to her from you because of you. Is she considered as your daughter according to Islam? Yes or no?
yeah,
False.
yes.
You want to beat me on that?
Prove it.
It's in front of you. Are you stupid?
In that verse, God is saying that He created humans with water and He created relations and He can do anything.
What he can do anything? What the heck? Listen, Abdul, you're talking like taking drugs. It says that he approve relationship only through marriage. Anything out of marriage is not lineage. There's no lineage. No lineage.
وَالَّذِي خَلَقَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا.
You don't speak Arabic. You are reading Urdu. So don't tell me now you know Arabic. هو الذي خلق من الماء بشرا فجعله نسبا وصهرا. Now, go and open the interpretation. You will see you can have sex with your daughter as long as she is a daughter from fornication. Because she is not your daughter. Okay. Listen. Can a son or a daughter of fornication inherit the name of his father?
Repeat it.
Can a son of fornication inherit the name of his father? Or daughter? I mean, daughter or son?
Like, you can verify through that biological test.
This is another question. Can a son of fornication? We are not saying he is not his son. This is not the question. We are confirming that he is his son or she is his daughter. Can the daughter or a son, which is confirmed to be your son, can he inherit the name and the lineage? Yes or no?
No.
No, thank you very much. So it's not your daughter. So according to Islam, she is not your daughter. So you can F her. You just said no. So now you slept with the women. She gave a child for you. This daughter is not your daughter according to Islam. So she is lawful for you. This is what the verse is saying, and this is what the interpretation is saying.
Like if a daughter refuse to use his father name, in
Abdul,
that case,
I asked you, you answer already. Don't repeat yourself. A child who is born of fornication cannot inherit his father name, his father money, a child support, and is not considered as a child of the man. In fact, your prophet, he made it clear. I'm not talking about your wife now, don't take me wrong. But if your wife, she fornicate with a man and then she gave birth to a child in your house, is that a child is your child or the child of the man who slept with your wife? What do you say, Asad?
like there are a stepfather and real father.
No. This is not what I'm talking about. Listen carefully, Asad. Well, focus with me. Wake up. Drink coffee. If, I'm not insulting you, by the way. I'm just giving you if. Don't take me wrong. So, if your wife, she cheated on you. She slept with a man. and then she gave birth to let us say you went away for a year, 2 years, and then your wife, she met a man, she slept with him, and then she delivered a child when you are away. You come back home.
So
according to this son, who is the father of the son?
Okay, so that kid would be not a real kid. It would be step kid.
It would be what?
That kid would be not my real kid. It would be my step kid.
No. Is he going to carry your name? This is the question. Is he going to be? Let us say she called him Mohammed. Is he going to be called Mohammed, the son of Asad? Literally.
That kid don't have right to have or choose her name, because parents always choose their kid's name.
My friend, I feel sorry for you. You do not know. You live in Pakistan, but you know nothing about Islam. Here we go. الولد للفراش والزاني للحجر. Your prophet said, the one who owned the bed, the son will be considered his son. So if your wife, she sleep with the 1,000 men, it doesn't matter. You own the bed. All of them, they will inherit you and they will have your name. Get graduation. Child belong to the bed and stoning for the adulterer, your prophet said. So your wife, she goes sleep around, and now she give you a son from the neighbor who have a blue eyes because he's from England. You come back home and you have a darker skin. You say, honey, how come my son have a blue eyes? She said to you, honey, Allah gave it to me. I wish, but obviously she is fornicating. And what the solution now? Even if you go to the court, even if you do DNA, even if you have a proof of witnesses, even if you have 1,000 witnesses sleeping with her, even if all of those things exist, still the son of your neighbor will inherit your money, because in Islam this is your son. In the otherwise, if you sleep with the women and you have a son from her, but she is not your wife, your son inherit nothing. My friend, Islam.
It's not mentioned in Quran.
It is in the Hadith, and this is Sahih. So don't give me a break. And this is the Quran too. The Quran, no, this is confirmed. This is confirmed. The Quran. The Quran says, وَجَعَلْنَاهُ نَسَبًا وَصَهْرًا. Only we made, only. Go and read any interpretation. You live in Pakistan, brother. Can you call Sheikh Uthman to check on that? Now.
I already told you that. I already disrespect these scholars because they misleading people. So
what do you mean? What? Okay. Why you are saying Sheikh Uthman misleading people? What he did doesn't make sense.
Because they are doing wrong interpretation of Quran.
Okay, but that's all, or they are lying.
And these fake hadiths also make these kinds of scholars.
What do you mean? Okay, so they are making fake hadith, but I'm not showing you fake hadith. This is Sahih. This is Sahih Bukhari.
Also, Bukhari have lots of fake hadiths.
So where we can find the real Islam? Here we go. Everybody is fake. Sheikh Uthman is fake. Mimi Hijab is fake. Ali Dawah is fake. You are fake. So where we can?
I told you that.
Yeah.
Real hadith is that which Quran verify.
Okay, the Quran. I give you the verse. This is in total agreement with the Quran.
No.
Yes, the Quran approve only lineage from marriage. Anything out of marriage, there's no lineage.
Let me read that verse in English for you.
Okay, just take care. What I can do? I mean, I have limited patience. You are very slow, my friend. You remind me of your prophet when he was having orgasm. Because he never had. Aisha, she said, Prophet, what's happening? I play music, he did not stand up. I dance for you, did not stand up. I sing for him, nothing stand up. I blow air on it, doesn't stand up. What Muhammad he said? He said to her, I seek refuge by Allah from the penis when it's stand up. He don't want his penis to stand up. إذا وقب. إذا what? وقب. What the heck? And the Muslim, they will say to you, CP. It doesn't say that, CP. Where is the penis, CP? Let us go to the interpretation. It says, وقب الذكر. When the I don't want to say the word. I almost say the word. When the penis. So Aisha, she come to Muhammad. She touched his hair. She's horny. Her husband is so old. He cannot move it. You know? And she said to him, you got to move it, move it. You got to move it, move it. Move it. Muhammad, he said to her, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I seek refuge from the evil of the darkness, because she come to him at night. She's horny. When come with the darkness. Abdul, she is your wife and she is young and she is horny. What you will do? Go and get some cucumber. I mean, what the heck? What? And this Abdul, a Christian prince, I agree 90% with you. What the heck? What is left? The 10% I'm talking about a cucumber? Hmm? Huh? Hello? Let us see. This is the religion of Islam, which people don't want to know. Here we have all your laundry, Muhammad. All your laundry. All of it. Okay. Let me show you some reference. And Prophet Muhammad, he said, when the penis of the man is standing up, he lost his 30% of his mind. What the heck, brother? The wise prophet. Are you sure? Only aren't you the one who saw a woman? You lost all your mind, and then you claim women, they come in the image of the devil, and they live in the image of the devil. Let us see. Where is the word? Here we go. Interpretation. ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب. Book name جامع السعادات محمد مهدي النراقي, volume number 2, page 8. This is the same verse, saying it clearly. It is about when the penis stand up. When the penis stand up, this is what it means. وقب. Let us see where it says that. Where هذا هو على فخذ عائشة. Guys, I wish you can read what I see in front of me. So here it says, النساء حبائر الشيطان. Women are the tricks of shaitan. But this is his wife. I mean, what's wrong with that? And this wife, Aisha, look what she is doing. She come to Muhammad and she tried to tempt him to have boom boom. So what Muhammad he do? He said to her, كلميني واشغليني يا حميراء وهي تشغله بكلامها عن عظيم ما هو فيه لقصور طاقة قلبه عنه. What the heck is that? Let us see different reference. Let me post this one. It's not worth it, but let us show you the translation. I don't know why it's not translating. Translate the full page, buddy. Okay. The interpretation of إذا وقب, number 4. Translation is coming really weird, you know. They are talking about the tricks of the women. When the women are the traps of shaitan. So the women, she come to him, and this is Aisha. She's trying to have sex with him. Muhammad, he is saying, I seek refuge by Allah from the time when the penis get hard. All right? But let us see more about this. Give me a second. I will try to find you more reference, more clear reference. This one is not really. Actually, it should say in the page, but I cannot see it. You know, I don't know why. When I let me try again. Ah, actually, it says that in the. Okay, hold on. It's my fault. It's my fault. أي من شر الذكر إذا قام أو دخل من شر غاسق إذا وقب, from the evil of the D word, the penis. I'm just trying to use the word which is acceptable a little bit. When it is standing up and hard, or if it entered. Let us see the translation again. Maybe we missed it in the first time. From the evil of the darkness. Yeah, you see here, the translation is coming wrong, which means from the evil of the male member, the penis, when it is stand or enter. See, the translation is giving false translation. This is the Quran. This is the Quran of Muhammad. His wife, she come to him. She want to do boom, boom. Muhammad accused her that she is the trap of the devil because he cannot have sex. The excuse is that this is the trap of the devil. He seek refuge by Allah. The wife, she come back, she try again, she work hard. Muhammad, she bent over in front of him, she jump in the top of his shoulder because remember, she is small. So still Muhammad, nothing is working with him. And the excuse, she is the trap of shaitan. Women are the traps of shaitan. But this is his wife. What's wrong with having sex with your wife? Why even you marry her if you cannot do oil change? Hello? If you don't do oil change to Aisha, who is going to do oil change for her? I think we have enough for today. Did we have a good time, guys? Those who copy my videos, cut them pieces and make a topic by topic. So you can make short videos. You can make from a one video 1,000 short video. Like this one, we mentioned this, cut it piece. Give it a title. You can fill up your channel with a lot of videos from one video. And as you see, we are not like others. We give reference. We don't make speeches. Do you see the reference in the top? This is not my book. This is not my website. Those are not my pages. Those are Muslim pages. Everything we say, this is the difference between what I do and what other people do. Speeches. Prophet said, Prophet was amazing. Prophet. Here, we give reference, approved by them. You see, when you go to the court, you don't sign a check by your hand and you give it to the judge, you say, this guy, he should pay me money. Look, this check, but it's you who sign it. You can do that only if the check signed by your opponent, not by you. This is a check signed by the Muslims, given to me, and now I'm going to cash it. And this is why, Muhammadan, we find what you, when you say, speaking about ethic, like this guy, the cowboy boy, trying to claim that he is an ethical person, following an ethical prophet, when his prophet has zero ethic. The Muhammadan, they lie and they claim that they are people who follow logic, when their religion have zero logic. Is it logical to have God, if I believe in him, he will make me F non-stop? That's his logic. And my penis will be endless. Is it logical that Muhammad was the most weak person between all mankind? And then he invoked Allah, and then Allah then sent him an angel with dish of shish kebab. He ate it, he got the power of 40 men. Is that logical? Can't Allah fix the penis of Muhammad? And don't you Muslims believe in destiny? So who is the one who destined Muhammad penis to be very weak? And what kind of God, to fix his prophet penis, he go to the kitchen, he cook shish kebab, he add some balut with it, and some insect from Thailand for boom boom, and then he send it hot with the angel Jibreel. And look at this guy, what happened to him? He converted to Islam, he lost his mind. Look at his face. What the heck is this? This is a religion for monkeys. You cannot be a person who is smart, intelligent, and you believe such a monkey religion. This is a monkey religion. Even the we showed you the hadith. Even the monkey, she's a Muslim, and they stone her for committing fornication.
Has led to Sneako saying things like this.
We get it. Porn is bad. Haram! Don't do that. It's a sin. That's trannies. Like, oh my God, we get it. Can I go outside now? My Rumble comments all that say, Sneako's hanging out with these, Sneako betrayed us. Why is he eating dinner with these people? What? You should be yelling at whores with Myron right now. No, I'm gonna react to the news. You betrayed us. Get a life, bro. Get a life. I'm done. I don't want to be in this. I thought we were on the same page, bro. I was at the mall talking about moving into a content creator house with some of my friends, and then people are messaging me like, Sneako, move into an Islamic learning house, bro. What the f?
Brother, it's okay. You can say the F word. I can show you. Your prophet saying it all the time. All the time. The word nikah is the F word. And there's the other word where he said, Muhammad, aniktaha? Did you F her? Continue, don't worry.
Like, I'll go pray Shema, I'll read my Quran, I'll talk to scholars. I am not moving into an Islamic, you people want me to move into a mosque. You want me to sleep in the mosque now. And it's like, he's grifting. I'm not grifting. I just want to have a f***ing home. I don't want.
Look how many times he used the F word. I mean, and rotates, he keep using it. No Muslim complain. No Muslim complain. This is Islamic language. It's haram. It's halal. Halal, brother. Continue.
I want to live in a mosque. Get off of my dick. Holy.
Did he say holy F? He said holy F Allah. That's haram. You cannot F Allah. You can F the Prophet. Shame on you. How you can F somebody not exist? At least if you go to the Prophet, the grave, you can find his the backbone. He's gone. I mean, he's become dust. But maybe the backbone is there. You can F it. Look at this guy. He is scolding the other guy because the other guy is not ethical. But this guy is the ethical boy. Boy. Say good boy to everybody. Good boy. This is the Egyptian way they speak in the villages. قال له يا حسنين انت فسد يا حسنين قال له لا انت فسد يا حسنين قال له لا انت خريت يا حسنين قال له boy from Zaman. I can't translate this for you, sorry. Forgive. Those who speak Egyptian, they understand what I'm saying. So, brother and sisters, may Allah bless your testicles. As you see today, we taught you a lot. Your name is Zucchini. Your name is Zucchini. Do you know that Zucchini converted to Islam? Zucchini, cucumber, watermelon, everything converted to Islam. Hold on. Oh, I'm typing in Arabic. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Zucchini, praying to Allah. Maybe I can find it. Where is the Muslim zucchini? I'm trying to find it. I don't know. Maybe I need to change the search engine, search statement. Okay, let us see. All right. Where? I can't find it. Okay, hold on. Oh, look, guys. Asif Iqbal, find Allah written in Arabic in watermelon. Hey, Asif, how you doing? Thank you very much. Guys, the watermelon converted to Islam. He found Allah in the watermelon. Look this one. Allah written in Arabic on the watermelon. Look at this one, is even better. Look, this guy, he found the name of Allah on the beef. Look at this one. Oof, that's deep. Oh, what the heck? Wow, look here. This is so clear. There's no question. This is Allah. What else? Let us see. This is all watermelon. Where is the other? I want the other. I want the zucchini. Where is the zucchini? Look at this one here. Allah on the watermelon. Allah. And then we find that the Pakistani Muslims these days are writing the name of Allah in their penis, on their penis. It's a miracle, you know. So for you who try to deny the existence of Allah, when you eat watermelon, you are eating Allah. And not to forget that Allah is what? Allah is the time. So when you say to somebody, do you have time? You are saying to him, do you have Allah? تسب الدهر. What is Allah? Is time. This is what they worship. TikTok. Allah. And this is very authentic hadith. Where is the hadith? Don't curse the time, for it is Allah who is the time. Time worshippers, your time is up. Allah. We laugh at him, we expose him, we spank him, and the time of Allah is not working. By the way, even his calendar is funny. This is why the Muslims, they celebrate their occasion every year in different date, because Muhammad, he corrupted the calendar. So you will find Ramadan sometime in August, sometime in January, sometime in February, sometime in July, sometime in May, April. Why? Because the donkey Muhammad, he could not work with the calendar. The Arab, they have a calendar, and Muhammad, he forbid the Arab Muslims from correcting the calendar. The Arab, before we finish, just to cover this topic, the Arab, they use to add days at the end of the year. Why? Because they are using the lunar, and they learned that mostly from the Jews. Muhammad don't like that. Muhammad, he want to act differently. So he come with an idea, I am going to forbid that. Look what happened when he did. The year is messed up. No date is correct now in Islam. He claimed that this is a command from Allah, and the one who correct the calendar in chapter 9, verse number 37, he is following shaitan. Correcting the calendar, which is wrong, is from shaitan. You will see here they are talking about the second month. This is about fixing at the end of the year, you add days every year because the moon calendar is short of days. Muhammad, he make it clear, he make it this is an act of shaitan and this is the act of kuffar. If you change the translator or translation, you will see how things in this book is messed up. This is from God. Correcting the calendar is forbidden, is an act of disbelief, it's an act of shaitan. And now the Muslim, they have Hajj, they have Ramadan, every year in different date. Those people, they have a calendar, and the Hajj will be done in the same, like no, we say Christmas, okay, the day is fixed. In Islam, no. All of because of this verse. He destroyed the calendar which was exist, and now the birthday of Muhammad every year is different. Not only this is about normal things, about even your birthday. If you follow the Muhammad calendar, you will find that your son 1 year he is born in January, in other year your son is born in July. If you type right now the birth of Muhammad based on the Islamic calendar, you will find that every year have different date. Every year, every single year. Just because of this stupid verse. Muhammad, he messed up everything. Everything. Let me see if I can find you the calendar. I keep saying I'm leaving. When I'm going to leave? Okay. I'm trying to find the calendar. You can search it yourself, maybe that will be, easy for you to do. try to find like how they, like let's say, what is the birth of, when the birthday of Muhammad in 2024. Let's see this. When the birthday year 2024. Let us see, maybe that will take us to the page. Here we go. That was easier. So read with me here. I just searched for this. When was the birth of when the birth of Prophet Muhammad for the coming years? The 24. So 24 is going to September 16. 25 is going to be September 5th. 26 is going to be August 25. And that will continue. This is not like the end. That will continue, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep changing forever. So we start in September, when we go to August, then we go backward, 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 backward. Muhammad is getting younger or older. You think about it. The genius Allah, He fixed the calendar. And then all dates are messed up because of the dummy, yummy prophet. Thank you all for being here. May the Lord bless you. And until we see you soon again, God is good. So is Jesus. And your prophet is nothing but a fraud, a scam. And we expose him here with no mercy. And that's why none of your sheikhs dare to call us. The one who call us is people who will not lose their career. They can say anything. They can say, I don't accept this, I reject this, they can give their own interpretation. They can do anything. They have no career to lose. The true sheikhs, they will never dare. Because many are watching them what they say. It's true, Muslims are allowed to lie. But still there is a limitation, brother. Always there is somebody watching them. And not because they are lying, they will go against them. No, but they are waiting to expose each other out of jealousy. Otherwise, all of them, they agree that lying to Christians is halal. Just defend Allah and defend the Messenger, no matter what and how. So I say to the Christians, whatever those people they say, they are not trustworthy, because look who is their prophet. A child molester, caravan attacker, accused in his book to steal underwear, fairy tale stories tellers. Name one thing this guy he is not. From being a pimp, from being a dumb, from being a liar, from being a fornicator, a cheater, a thief. I mean, I don't know, a pedophile. Name one thing. He is bad, he is not. And then they say to you that the Prophet was the most trustworthy between all the Arabs. That's what they say. And then you go and check how he get married from Khadija. They made the father of Khadija get drunk. They took off his clothing. They dress him his marriage suit. Like, you know, when you have an occasion, the Arab, they have the same as anybody. They have a clothes they wear only in certain occasion, expensive clothing. The guy, he woke up, he says, why am I wearing those clothes? Khadija, she said to him, you married me yesterday to Muhammad. Even his marriage was a fraud. And this is in their books. How the wife of Muhammad, she examined his inspiration, which is how he see Jibreel. She did a striptease, literally. If this is how Muhammad, he received his inspiration and how he was examined by a woman doing a striptease, so how in the world I will become a prophet if I don't have a woman? You tell me. Now we know that Jesus in Islam cannot be a prophet because he doesn't have women and no women stripping for him. So who's going to examine Jesus to be sure he sees the Jibreel? Hey Muslims, by the way, how come the Quran never say that Jesus he receives Jibreel? Never. Jesus is born with the Injil, born with it. Man, oh man. See you, love you, you hate me, I like you. God is good, so is Jesus, and see you soon.